And a big shout out once again to our generous supporters over at patreon.com/878 Survivor FM. Our $10 supporters, Dick Donovan, Kenny Baker, Big Dog, Shane Murphy, and our two $25 supporters, Jake Snow and Red Freedom. And finally, our one YouTube member, Kenny Baker. Thank you all for your support, and we hope you enjoyed the show. And we are live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And welcome to episode 72 of the DayZ Podcast. So we are joined today by Lad. How you doing, Lad?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Doing all right, yeah.
Awesome. And filling in for Marks, we have Dumpgrah. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you.
Good to have you on the show again, mate. Jad, how you doing, sir?
Very well, thank you.
And the one, the only, I am Geckofish. How you doing, mate?
Hello, buddy.
Mate, I watched your 3 minutes of raging video this morning. Oh, my God, I was in tears.
Yeah, people love seeing people angry with the game. And it's many downfalls.
Twitch chats, and I imagine YouTube chats are the same. The viewers are fucking mean arseholes. They love watching us suffer, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They do. Everyone was enjoying that video.
I totally agree with one of the comments, mate. Like Montana UK just said in chat, you need to get a shirt that says "this fucking game." You really do.
Yes.
How do I get it on a shirt, though? I was just trying to think of how to do it. We'll just have a picture of some guy pulling out his hair and DayZ in the background or something, or I don't know.
You need to come
I'm not that creative with that.
Mate, you've come across with over 200 people. I'm certain there's someone in your crowd, because I'm the same, mate. I'm not an artistic person. I still draw stick men. But I'm certain there's someone who can come up with some sort of image or something that, you can just have this game and something in between it. Maybe it is you tearing your hair out. But yeah, it just seems like it's your go-to catchphrase is "this fucking game."
But I feel the emotion when I'm playing now. I feel that when I'm frustrated, you just let it out.
How many times have you gone to uninstall?
I uninstalled DayZ a couple of weeks back, and now I've got it back up.
That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. So, gentlemen, thank you both for joining us on this 72nd episode of the podcast. Just a quick shill. This episode is brought to you by our Patreons over at patreon.com/878 Survivor FM, and also our new sponsor, Ping Perfect, affiliate code in the link. Make sure you use code Survivor FM at checkout for 10% off your first month. It's very nice to actually have a sponsor for the very first time on the show, and I've heard only good things about Ping Perfect. Never a bad word about them, so definitely worth checking out if you've got a server and you're looking for someone new, or you're looking at creating a server. Speaking of creating servers, Jad, we'll start with you, buddy. How you doing?
I'm all right. We had a little chat before.
We did.
About
one of my all-time favorite DayZ servers, mate, was After Dark, which was a project you were central to creating. It was an absolutely phenomenal server, one of the hardcore ones. Not one for people who are just looking for quick shenanigans and all the rest of it. It was a real grind. You created almost the perfect hardcore server there, mate.
I don't think it was perfect, but there are a lot of things that I'm proud of that we did with it.
Yeah.
And especially new things that we brought and have now been more widely adopted.
Yep.
Yeah, the server was really great, and I do miss it.
It was good, Jad. It was good. I played there a bit as well. That hardcore element, some servers have it and some don't. Some are too easy.
Yeah.
If you want to get punished all the time, that was one of the servers where you'd struggle.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, I actually watched you playing on Churnerus Has Fallen, Jet Gecko, where you were bragging about how you've never died to the elements, and you died to the elements on Churnerus
I
Has
still
Fallen.
haven't. That was controversial.
No,
I think I was set up there.
No,
It never happened. It never happened.
it's on video, mate. They've got it in 4K. I'm sorry, but you died to the elements.
CGI. It was CGI.
This is not the death you were looking for.
It was a deep fake, was it, mate? Someone deep faked you?
Yeah, it's amazing what they can do these days with the laptop.
Sword Wolf should said it in chat as well. Yeah, deep fake. But no, it was an amazing server, mate, and like Gecko said, getting that hardcore balance, because I made my own server as well, mate, and I went full R word, and no one played it. You, on the other hand, you had a server that was pretty much what I was trying to achieve myself, but you managed to achieve it, and without going as stupid as I went. It was brilliant. You know, just little things like being able to actually tear a chicken apart with your hands at the risk of getting a cut was one of my favourite mechanics on that game, because, man, if you were starving and you saw a chicken, you'd be snapping that little fucker's neck, plucking him and just cooking him on whatever you could find. You wouldn't be searching around for a knife.
Yeah, we tried to add a couple of changes so that you'd have small boosts to keep you going, such as plucking a chicken with your bare hands, and digging for worms with your bare hands as well.
Yep.
So a lot of hardcore servers are described as knife roulettes, where once you get a knife, you're kind of set up. But I think adding these changes made it so that you could definitely survive without a knife.
That's a good term, isn't it, lad? Knife roulette, because that's what a lot of hardcore servers are. If you don't have a knife, you're screwed.
Oh, yeah, trust us. Yeah, I remember when I first played on New Dawn, which Dumpgrah here develops. This is before I started modding. It was definitely knife roulette. It definitely bloody was. It was so tough. It was ruthless. And your server, Boyd, was absolutely like...
Yeah,
that was tough. It was good though. It was a good level of challenge, that's for sure.
Why is everyone in chat talking about potatoes, Gecko? You need to elaborate on this. How many times have you died for a potato in your hands?
I refuse to eat one now. I refuse to. I throw them in the ocean. The fact that you have to peel it now doesn't make any sense. The perfect baked potato has a skin on it.
Yes.
So eat it and survive. I don't know why they added that. Maybe there's something behind the scenes. But I reckon a guy worked a whole week on that, implementing that.
They just felt sorry for him, so they kept it. Yeah.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I scratched my head over the whole having to peel a potato. It's like, haven't they heard of a fucking baked potato? I mean, like, even mashed potato with the skin on it is still quite nice.
Why stop there? Let us peel pears and apples. Why not peel those as well?
Yeah,
it's so dangerous to eat the peel.
Let's be honest. You're eating a raw potato. Have you ever tried to do that?
I haven't. No. Have you?
You got to have some strong teeth.
Yeah. Yeah, raw potato is not exactly high on my favourite list of foods either, I will admit, but I would eat it if I was starving. There's not much I wouldn't eat if I was starving.
Yeah, I agree.
So what have you guys got coming on? When you reached out to me, Jad, you said you've got some news that you wanted to share with everyone. So fill us in, buddy. What's going on?
It's not really news, but for a while now...
Let's get it on.
Spill it.
So there's a guy called Dance of Jesus who
know him well. He's one of the admin team.
He made a video regarding the legacy version of DayZ.
Yep.
A while ago, and he went through a review comparing it to the current version of DayZ. And it was an amazing video, and I'm sure it inspired a lot of people.
Yeah, I liked it.
And off the back of that, we looked into the idea of being able to play Legacy with other people. I can't say anything for certain reasons, but it may or may not have happened, and it may or may not have had anything to do with me. But basically, a server came about for the legacy version of DayZ, and we found out how to legally download the client files.
Mm-hmm.
And we managed to play together for a bit on that, and that was an interesting experience. But again, off the back of that, I wanted to start making some mods to bring DayZ closer back to the legacy versions.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the first, I was going to make a series of mods, and one of the first ones was the gunplay.
Yes.
And it was something that I started working on while S Gunplay had stopped development, I suppose. It was put on hold for a long time. But I was very aware of that. And I started working on it, and then Simon, I think, I can't remember how it happened, but he reached out to me and was like, hey, I've started working on mine again, and you gave me a bit of motivation to start working on that.
Mm-hmm.
And S Gunplay was released, and that kind of left me with my gunplay mod that is comparable to alpha gunplay. But yeah, I have that mod that I've been working on for a while, and I've been testing it with a rather large server to see what they think of it, and it's been going well so far. So hopefully in the very near future I'll be releasing that mod. But I suppose almost the limelight has been, I wouldn't say stolen, but it just so happened that S Gunplay came up first, which is a great mod, by the way.
It really is.
Yeah, if people want to go back to a more legacy version.
Have you got any footage that we can watch? Show us what it's all about.
Maybe.
I hope so, because like you've definitely intrigued us. What if you're allowed to say what is the server that's using this mod right now?
So they're not using it, but me and another person have been testing it with them pretty closely, and they've been giving lots of feedback on how they would like it to be. It's the day one servers.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
So I don't know if it will ever be added. Yeah, I don't know if it'll ever be added, but it was definitely a good experience for me to learn from their feedback. I've got a video I added back in the Atlas bipod, which is something that a lot of people missed from.
Yes.
Yeah, I DM'd you a YouTube link of a demo of the bipod of how it would function in my mod, and it was very similar to 0.62. So it was almost just a static bipod. It doesn't really have an effect on how you aim, but it has different modifiers for recoil and inertia.
Okay, right. Let's have a gander. I want to see this.
So does it actually matter if you're crouched, laying down, or standing up when it's deployed?
Yeah, so you have to be prone and on your front for the bipod to have an effect, and the bipod must be deployed.
That's good.
Right.
So the mod makes shooting a lot more difficult. As you can see, like the recoil is a lot crazier than vanilla.
Yeah.
Yes.
But with the bipod, you can see that the recoil is significantly reduced. So it would encourage a bit more slow gameplay.
I quite like that, actually. It's not too bad.
It's a small detail, but it adds a lot, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Is there, just out of curiosity, is there ever any other elements of the mod you're developing in that video as well? Or is it just the bipod?
Yeah, in the video you can see the dynamics there, which is from 0.62, where crosshair would be exactly where you were aiming at all times, and it had that little semicircle-ish thing.
Oh.
But yeah, a lot of work. I mean, that's a pretty old video. That a lot of work has been done on the mod since then. I don't have any recent footage. I'd love to get you some, but yeah, I think the legacy gunplay was a much more. I wouldn't even say it's more realistic for how gunplay should be, but it was certainly better for a game where you're not supposed to be a marine running around shooting and having and lasering people with an M4.
Yes,
it's supposed to be a lot more difficult.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one thing that gets me a lot about the current DayZ, like the current vanilla gunplay, is that whereas it is an improvement, quote unquote improvement on what Legacy used to be, it kind of misses the whole point of what your survivor role is. You're not a military man. You're not a fucking marine, the last living survivor of the plane crash in Chernobyl. You're just an ordinary dude who presumably has no gun training. So yeah, I can't wait to see more updates with it.
Yeah, hopefully I can release that soon, and maybe you'll see it on the day one servers. I'm not sure. That'll be up to them.
Very nice. Very nice.
Now, the other thing you've got going on, mate, is the DayZ Magic Launcher. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I suppose it's not really going on at the moment. I definitely do have plans. I have plans for it, definitely.
He keeps promising 2.0 and he never released it. Teased us with integrated Netflix. It's got everything you could ever want in a launcher, but he will never release it.
I'll give you a bit of backstory to the launcher. So, 2 years ago almost, the only real launcher for loading mods in DayZ was DayZ SA launcher.
Yeah.
And at that time, there were a lot of bugs with it, which have now been quashed. But I thought it'd be a great project to work on in my spare time while I wasn't working. Just something as a pastime and to contribute to the DayZ community to make a launcher. Where it would be something where the UI was a bit different and there would be extra features in it that DayZ SA was missing. And I worked on it for a while and released it. And since then, it's pretty much been neglected. But there was a point where no one was using it, and then suddenly, like the next week, there was 2,000 people using it. So I kind of just let it sit, and people can use it as they wish. But I do have plans to rewrite the whole thing and make it a lot better, and add a lot of new features that have never been seen before in the DayZ launcher. One of the things I wanted to do was add categories for servers that would be done through machine learning. So there would be a model that would be able to categorize a server. So if it was a roleplay server, it would fall under the roleplay category. If it was a strictly PvP server, it would fall under that. So it would be a lot easier for players to find exactly what they wanted in the launcher.
So would it be like keywords and stuff inside the name descriptions, or would it be like actually like kind of like pulling information from the server and like getting kind of stuff about it? Like what mods?
It would be a combination of that, mainly from the name, but what mods the server is using, the time acceleration, so it could see how long day and night were, things like that.
Nice.
So any information from the server, it would be using. Yeah, I feel really bad for neglecting the launcher, but
you should feel
hopefully.
bad.
I promised Gecko like 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. But the launcher, after I released it, I was looking for a job, and it was one of the main things that was on my CV, because it's a working piece of software. It's fully fledged, front end and back end.
Nice.
And I got a response from a job application that I did, and I went into the interview, and the first thing the interviewer said to me was, "I recognize your DayZ launcher. I'm a big DayZ fan, and I've used your launcher before."
Love it.
It was amazing for the launcher to have an effect on my real life, and I ended up getting the job off that. So yeah, I'm very grateful to Magic Launcher.
That is fantastic. That's absolutely brilliant.
Very nice.
Yeah,
So you're actually the full developer of the Magic Launcher?
yeah.
Oh,
I would have liked for there to be more people, and it is open source, so people can contribute if they want. I've had a couple of people wanting to make their own launchers off the back of mine and using mine as a base for their specific needs. Yeah,
very nice.
hopefully
Well,
I can.
That's
make
pretty
some
cool,
contact
man.
with you later.
That's pretty cool. Not a lot of people are, sharing their stuff out there, so that's admirable, mate. Yeah, good on you,
Thank you.
Mr. Geckofish. You are absolutely killing it at the moment, mate.
Am I?
Yes, you are.
You fucking are. Jesus, yeah, you definitely are, man. Jesus.
Thank you.
Killing yourself mostly from what I can see, from what I've been watching and raging about it. Like I said at the start, mate, that 3-minute video of you was just fucking hilarious. One of the things I think that gets people enjoying watching you is just how passionate you are when you're playing. Every death seems to matter to you. Every death is a source of frustration, and you've just got this quirky sense of humor as well.
Thanks very much. I do, because I love the game so much, so it really annoys me when I know it can be so much better as well. It really could be so much better. And it's the modders that have kept the game alive now for a long time.
Oh,
They
for sure.
introduced so many cool mods. It's extended the life of this game and made it into something that we all wanted, but they just didn't sort of pursue really hard.
It is the modders who, it's something that we've been talking about a lot on the podcast, that the modders are the true heroes of DayZ. The content creators would have moved on by now if the modders weren't keeping the game fresh and introducing new stuff, whether it be stuff like S Gunplay or Your Gun Mod Jad. But just, we're especially on PC, we're only on PC, we are spoiled for choice. With all the different maps we've got and all the different amazing mods. It's a veritable smorgasbord out there at the moment, isn't it, Geckofish?
It is, yeah. And it's not only the big mods that changed, like S Gunplay, for example. The small mods, Dance of Jesus made the supersonic cracks and the bullets go past you. It's much louder now. Before, I'd have to touch myself and think, am I hit? Is it at me? You didn't even know if you were being shot at, but it was a far one.
Any excuse to touch yourself, mate?
Or just checking for bullet holes. But now you know when you're being shot at. And it was like that before, but they reversed that and made it quieter somehow, which didn't add any intensity when you're getting shot at.
Interesting question. I'll go to you for this one, Gecko. Any tips for a guy coming from console to PC DayZ?
Buy a mouse and keyboard.
Okay, he's bought a mouse and keyboard. What would you say?
It depends what they want. There's so many options out there on PC.
Yes.
Start with just dive in at the deep end on full pop servers. If you want to get, if they watch my videos and they say they can't get gameplay like that, but they're playing on empty pop servers and they don't want to, they're too scared to engage. I was like that in the beginning. I used to log out when I saw someone in the beginning. I was too scared to interact. But it changes. If you throw yourself in the deep end, you get very used to that. And that's the best way to play this game.
The key word you said there is interaction. Interaction is everything. Yes, you could find a great PvE server like After Dark was, and you get Chernus Has Fallen, New Dawn DayZ, and ones like that where the environment can be quite a threat. But even still, it's those interactions that you remember. And I'm not just talking about shooting everything you fucking see, but actually taking the chance to try and talk to someone. Yeah, you might die. So what? It's just fucking pixels. Get over it. You get to loot up and spawn again. It's those interactions that are golden, aren't they, Gecko?
Absolutely, yeah. And as you said, it's not all about interaction. The challenge of the game, like Chernus Has Fallen, I hardly met anyone because people would just be dead. You'd never get to meet them. But the challenge on its own was so fun.
Yes.
So I respect that side of the PvE side of it as well. Everyone plays it different. But interaction is something I enjoy. And I enjoy the PvE side sometimes too.
Mm-hmm. You got to embrace it, don't you, Dumpgrah?
Yep.
I mean, yeah, you definitely do have to embrace it. And another thing as well, don't get attached to your gear. Just don't. Like, that leads to just gear fear, and you know, as Gecko said, you just log out when you first come across someone. Definitely go balls deep in a full pop server, but try and play on a vanilla-like community server. Just stay away from official.
We often talk about gear fear being negative, though, lad. But yeah, gear fear at the same time adds a bit more. You know, when you finally, for me, it's things like, you know, finding the hat that Winstride made for me, and my pair of red punk boots, and yeah, they're two things that I really value finding, and. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of gear fear, because you've got to have that value for your life. Otherwise, it just becomes a Call of Duty or a PUBG where, you know, it's rinse and repeat. And sure, you can play that style if you want on those sort of servers, but you'll find you'll go from the extremes of uninstalling like Gecko did a few weeks back to you don't get reactions like Gecko had in that video if you're not valuing the game and your character.
Too right. I mean, definitely. I mean, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, really. It's like like you said, a little bit of gear fear is good because you do need that value for your life. You need to have that so you can actually get better at the game. But if you have too much of it, then it just completely prevents you from playing the game too much. It's like, right, I've got all this really cool stuff, got play card, got me M4 with whatever. Right, I'm logging off and never coming back. It's like,
well, see, that's the bad type of gear fear, right?
Not right.
Yeah, obviously.
If the gear fear makes you want to log off and not log on during encounters or interactions, then obviously you're way too attached to the gear personally. But like, I don't think gear fear, even in the worst of circumstances, should ever force you to want to log off. It should be one of those situations where, how can I survive this encounter and get away from it? Whether it's me running with my tail between my legs, or it's me bum rushing them with an MP5 or a shovel, most powerful weapon in the game. Just do it. Like, enjoy the game as it should be, and don't try to, I call it, cheese the system.
Yeah, it's like a saying our players next to case, like, just don't get attached to your game, mate. It is what it is. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Now, I have to ask, what is the Bangkok Stallion?
Yes, what is that? What's going on with that?
It's a character that's pretty much me, but an over-exaggerated version of me. And it's he's a failed porn star, and he's really dodgy, investing in pyramid schemes and all kinds of stuff, and roping his followers into the same thing and failing them every time. But it was part of the series I did. I did a 33-episode series, I think, and it was based on that character. And he was the leader of a cartel, and then he even failed in the drug industry. So he's a complete failure, and that's the stream is sponsored by the Offshore Pyramid Investment Schemes Incorporated.
Love it. Love it. And is this a recurring character you have quite often?
At the moment, he's in a bit of a hiatus, but there is a new series coming, hopefully, if I get the time to edit it, and he'll be back. I'm gonna have to go check these. I'm gonna have to go check these out because it sounds like it's a hell of a lot of fun. But I can't get over. Like I've got to go back a second there. I fucking played this game. How am I like that? I can't get over just how. No.
That's brutal.
How much you
badly misjudged?
No, not badly misjudged. It's time and time again. Fucking twice. How involved you are in every character's life.
I am that character when I'm especially in first person. You feel like you're part of that character. So when I get killed in situations like that, oh man, it pisses me off. But then I'm alright once I respawn and everyone's laughing. Yeah. That's the main thing.
You gotta have that humor behind it, really. You gotta you gotta laugh at that.
And
I'm sorry, I'm loving these reactions.
I'm going to stop there because I want people to go and watch. You know, it's all well and good to highlight the video, but I don't want to steal views from you.
I don't mind. You can play away.
If you want to watch,
mind.
Oh, okay. It didn't copy the link. Because I'm a boomer. There we go. There's the full video. If you just want to go and watch it, it's only about 3 minutes, folks. But I know most of you here will have seen it. But yeah, there's the small cadre of regular viewers of the show who may not have seen it. It is just pure fucking gold. Because I'm boomering it again and I'm posting the thread into the emoji tab. There we go. So bookmark that one for later. Sub to his channel if you haven't, for the best 3 minutes of a failed porn star, like Tezza just said in chat. I love it, mate. I love seeing that genuine. That's the thing that gets me. There's a lot of people out there, I reckon, who fake their reactions. But for you can just detect that it's genuine rage at the moment, and yeah,
it is.
That's like the original.
You loot up on these servers and things are going well. You're taking one step forward, and then you're taking 12 steps back when the game fucks you like that, and you fall off a radio tower, get thrown off. Yeah, that's one of the most painful deaths imaginable. And I'm getting shot at the same time by some guy who's trying to kill me. He's probably laughing himself through his 12 times scope.
Oh yeah,
I fell off that time.
Now, what's this about coke cannabis? I'm pretty sure this video is just going to get, or this podcast is just going to get demonetized into existence with the amount of swearing, and now we're going to be talking about coke cannabis. What is coke cannabis?
I apologise for swearing. I didn't realise I was.
No, God, no,
swearing.
no, mate. I'm an Aussie.
Shit?
I'm an Aussie. The word cunt is part of my fucking everyday vocabulary, so go for gold,
it
mate.
is down under, yeah. It sounds normal when you guys say that, but if you said that here, people would turn around and rage.
You're a top cunt, mate. You're a fucking good cunt.
Man, if I said that here, my wife would murder me.
So yes, coke cannabis. What is coke cannabis?
That was the drug that Bangkok Stallion was trying to sell people. It was cannabis infused with cocaine, and it was called Electric Fury.
Is that okay? I'm gonna call you out here. Did you steal that from South Park?
Or coke cannabis?
Yes.
No. Electric Fury is what it's called.
Well, there you go.
Drug.
They did that on a South Park episode as well. I can't remember what they called it. Was it White Cloud or something?
Yeah, it was a Christmas special, right?
Yeah, the Christmas special for.
That was horrible.
What's the name of his farm again?
Integrity
Farms. Yeah, and they did a Christmas special, and it was cannabis laced with cocaine, and it was everyone was just. There you go.
That's the real drug, apparently. I was told after that. But on the server I was playing on, they had cannabis, but they didn't have cocaine. So we used to use garden lime and RP it out like it was cocaine that we were infusing into the soil.
Nice.
And,
that's nice.
Integrity
people
Farms.
bought it with bucks and nails. That's what we're selling it for.
Oi, there you go. Like Tack Edgar said in chat, it's I've got the dark mode on, so it's a bit hard to read the names. You got a lawsuit, mate. Go and sue fucking South Park for stealing your idea. Those guys got millions. They got billions.
Oh, let's see. I'll get my management team onto that.
So, who is really the sort of people that you are keeping an eye on and looking up to in the community, of the content creators there, Gecko?
They're all very good. I saw a few videos of Freshspawns. They're pretty fun guys. They do a lot of pranks on people.
I want to get them on the show, but they're
cool guys.
Very funny, and I like that they've gone for a different format. Like you see some people collab, but to see people, two blokes that's their gig. Is their shtick is that they always playing with each other. And there's a few people that you kind of, you got the Minder and Toprek, you usually see them guys running together, and Wicked and a few others, but there's not really any iconic duos at the moment, is there?
No, it's a unique approach to making the videos, and it seems to be a different idea every time they do it. They're going to run out of ideas eventually because you can't do everything on DayZ. I'm sure
they'll get accused of stealing ideas.
More things. Yeah, that's the thing as well. When I try not to watch other DayZ videos because I don't want it to influence what I'm doing, and someone will say, "Oh, you just copied this guy." I know that all my ideas are from me because I haven't seen many other videos, but I've seen their videos pop up when I've watched a few, and they're pretty funny. I like that. I like how much fun they're having just doing stuff like that.
There's a very good video
that's in the YouTube world.
There's a very good video by a guy called Cyborg Lizard on YouTube, and it's about that exact topic. I thought it was on his top videos. But
Cyborg Lizard has got one of the most legendary DayZ videos out there.
Yes.
Is that the guy who did the unloaded gun or the jammed gun?
Yeah.
He was one of them. Clip. And that's what this is about. He got accused of copying Jam Jar. And he actually delved into the video and pointed out that the first guy that he could actually identify who was doing these social experiments was a Kiwi guy by the name of GG Sammy. But people called him out for copying. I wouldn't be too worried, mate. End of the day, there's like you said, mate, there's only so many varieties of things you can do, but you've got your own unique personality. I would watch you fucking doing social experiments any day, mate, because you've just got such a unique personality, and that's what differentiates you from someone else doing it. You watch GG Sammy's social experiments. GG Sammy also did a DayZ game show. And then Jam Jar started doing a game show as well. And it was like, shit happens. People are going to come up with the same ideas, or, you may have seen something in passing. Like I remember I did a video where I got a bunch of kills at Pavlovo military base with a sporter. And straight away my mind went to, for the title of the video, A Sporting Chance. And then about a week or so after the video, it was just niggling in my mind, and I went and checked, and sure enough, the Running Man had a video called A Sporting Chance. And I was like, well, there's the inspiration for that video title came from, but I just didn't think of it at the time. I wouldn't be too worried, mate. People are going to hate it for whatever fucking reason they want. You just do you, boo.
Yeah, that's what I do. And the community that we have on the channel on YouTube and Twitch, at first it was YouTube when they came over to Twitch as well. Yep. And I've always described them as the Lamborghini of the industry. And they're all bricks in this big house we've built, and I'm just a brick too. So without them, I'm nothing. And then with them, we're something fun.
I'm as thick as 2 bricks, mate, so I might have to come and join your community.
You're more than welcome.
Just make sure that you calculate your jumps right on roofs.
So what else have you got going on at the moment, mate? What can we expect from you in the near future? Gecko?
Oh, so you broke up there. I didn't hear nothing.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Did you repeat that?
So what else have you got going on at the moment?
Not much, really. Everyone wants the new series, but I'd have to take some time off YouTube to make that, because the ideas I've got for that require a lot of work and B-roll footage, and I've got some. I'm not going to say the ideas, but I've got some surprises for that series if it ever comes out.
Yep. So
it'll be a lot of fun doing that. But apart from that, nothing really. I just do YouTube and Twitch as a hobby, and I enjoy doing it.
What is Brut aftershave to you?
It's the Lamborghini of the industry fragrance. You don't got that in Australia?
Yes, we do. That's why I'm asking. I was seeing this green bottle that kind of looked a bit like Stone's green ginger ale. And I was like, what is that? And I hovered over the emote and I went, that's Brut. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is just, yes, it totally fits in, because for those who don't know, who don't have Brut, although I imagine it's one of those aftershaves that's everywhere, it's like one of the tackiest old man brands of, I think my dad used to use Brut aftershave. Yeah, it was up there with Old Spice before Old Spice became cool again. That's awesome. What blasphemy. What is the best? I do want you need to approach them, mate, for a sponsorship. I'm guessing there's people in your community who've actually gone and bought Brut aftershave just based on you bigging it up.
You made me buy it.
Yeah, you didn't even like it, man. You got no taste. But it's a very 80s kind of thing, and it fits in with Bangkok Stallion the way he is as well. But the smell of it, I wear it every day. I'm not ashamed to say that. It was Elvis Presley's favorite fragrance too.
There we go.
It has to smell like none. It elevates my mood to something a different level. I don't know how to explain it. When I put that on, I just go crazy.
I'm a little bit more of a posh boy, mate.
He's got Brut. I just saw you lift it up now. Fair play. Got taste there.
You all crazy. I don't use aftershave.
My missus gets me this stuff.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah. They actually do a really good. Nice. They actually do a really good beard oil. So yeah, it was interesting seeing chat though. They just fire up when I said bad things about Brut.
Yeah,
finding Brut in your dad's drawer is like finding out your dad was in the SAS. Oh, that's awesome. I think my son's even used it at one stage because his granddad, who sadly passed away now, but he was like an icon to my son, was a Brut man as well. So, yeah. I don't think there's anyone who's never smelt Brut before in their life. That's awesome that you chose that as the cologne for your man. You need to find
I've been using it for a long time, since I was a teenager. When I smelt that for the first time, it was amazing. Then I managed to get Jad to buy it, and then he hated it. But he got what one did you get, Jad? Was it the aftershave?
I got the aftershave.
Yeah, and he said it hurt his face or something.
Hang on. I didn't say that. I said I didn't like the smell of it. My dad loved the smell of it, but I didn't.
I'm going to have to make it as a fucking barter item now. Jesus Christ.
That's awesome. That's awesome. For someone out there, can you please mod in Brut into a server that Gecko plays on a lot? What servers do you play on mostly, mate? If you don't mind saying them, of course. We all know how bad stream snipers can be.
Yeah, I don't get stream sniped that often, but if I do, I don't say anything about it. I just get on with it.
That's a smart way to go. So many people make a big song and dance about it, and they're just feeding the people who do it.
You get more by doing that.
Yeah.
So you just ignore it. Most people are nice anyway. But I mostly play, say if I'm streaming, I'll go on to Day One, I'll check out their servers. Zero servers as well are pretty good for interaction. The Pakistan server is pretty cool. People are playing that a lot. That's good for interaction. Anywhere where there's a good mix of everything.
Yep. Love it. Absolutely love it.
And have you been playing on XDK for like this long test run?
Yeah, since release. It's a good concept as well. I've had a lot of fun on there, apart from that radio tower thing. Fell off that twice now.
No, just get good, man. Just get good. Just master the art of gravity.
Wait, is it your birthday?
There is no gravity.
Here we go.
No, they wish me happy birthday every day to annoy me.
Oh my god! Well, just to annoy you then, just to absolutely annoy you. There's something I do for people when it's their birthday. So, I want you to look right into the camera.
You're not going to strip, are you?
Happy birthday.
No, I'm not doing this.
Geckofish.
I'm not fucking doing this.
Happy birthday, dear Geckofish. Happy birthday,
I can still fucking hear you.
dear Geckofish. Happy birthday to you.
Let's see the
Thank
beautiful
you very
smile.
much, buddy. I'm nursing a
No.
semi. I don't know what to do with my hands. All I can do is laugh. So thank you very much.
I've got a stiffy.
Oh gosh. Somebody should clip that and give it to Gecko.
That's awesome. Have you
Also
tried?
team
Have you
every
tried
day.
New Dawn DayZ Geckofish?
New Dawn? No, I haven't. What kind of feel is that?
Dumpgrah is one of the guys behind it, and with you really liking to immerse yourself into characters and all the rest of it, I'm going to let him do a short plug of his server. I think you might find it interesting. There's a lot. If you look at the images behind him, this is stuff that he's custom created, and it's all on the new Dawn DayZ server. But oh my fucking god, there is so much you can do on that server. Take it away, Dumpgrah. Here's your chance. You've got nearly 200 people and one of the biggest streamers in DayZ right now. Sell your server, buddy.
Okay, so we are a hardcore DayZ server. We fully allow kill on site, but we highly encourage RP through mechanics in game. There is no rules to force RP interaction or any of that stuff. If you want to shoot somebody in the face, you can. But most of our mechanics are a lot of things to actually encourage you to work with your fellow man to survive further and longer, whether that's tying them up and stealing their resources or following them back to their base, or even making a trade partner to be able to get nails and stuff. I am the mod author of Ammo Making and Melody Forging. All of the newest updates and bug fixes and everything else go into our server first, and I put it to the Steam Workshop. But our server is all about player choice. If you want to play on a server where you don't feel like everybody runs around with full military gear, full weapons, full whatever, but actually earns what they have and works hard for it and has that gear fear, but doesn't log out, then our server is great for you, because you can get into a fight and when you walk away, you feel great about actually winning that fight. And that's kind of what we want to go for. But yeah, that's pretty much New Dawn.
I'm
And let's
downloading
not
the mods
forget
right
as
now.
well. Let's not forget as well as that New Dawn, because I'm one of the developers for it. New Dawn has the map link mod, so once you find the ticket to transfer to Namalsk, you can. Your character goes over to it. You keep all your gear, everything like that. You can loot up there, and it's got like it's much more tougher in regards to that. And they've just added some more mods to kind of make the hardcore feeling a lot more authentic. So it's very fucking nice. You definitely should try it out.
I'll check it out. I will. I'll note
Yeah,
that
we
down.
always joke with new players. If you can survive on New Dawn as a new player, you can survive on any server.
Environmentally, or
Yeah,
I've
it's
never
not-
died as
It's
a
not
professional.
insane. Yes, you fucking have.
I mean, okay, you played on Shinarsa's Fallen, right?
Mhm.
So Casiago, the guy who originally made it, is a very personal friend of mine. And he actually used to be one of our players on New Dawn. And he always told me that he always loved New Dawn's feel. And he went and made two. Like, I think the Shinarsa's Fallen was his third server. But, like, it was his biggest success. But, like, that's why he always had a hardcore feel to it. It's because he had his roots from New Dawn.
That's you can see the effort that goes into that. A lot of servers are out of touch with that survival element with all the guns and PvP. But
Yeah.
it's nice to go back to that. You might not get as much PvP, but that's not what it's about there. So I respect it. I do enjoy that side of it as well. Most people think I just enjoy the interaction and shooting and falling off things, but I enjoy the PvE as well.
Now, we have got a lot of people who are here waiting for a exclusive reveal that the DayZ dev team gave us. So give me 1 second, just while I get the files ready.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Scotty was not able to join us this time, but hopefully in the future, if they do announce like more kind of like exclusive sneak peeks in the
Scotty
future.
sadly has not been too well lately, folks. So That was quite concerning to hear. But okay, so I released I don't know whether you saw it, Gecko and Jad, but I released a tweet on Twitter. That was DayZ have been kind enough. They gave us the M16 a while back to showcase, and this time around they've given us a new animation that they have done. And I gave a code on Twitter for basically a hint that was FDFHP. And we actually had someone guess or work out what that code was in relation to. And it was Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat's finishing move. Forward, down, forward, high punch. So what we have is, I don't know about you, Gecko, but the stealth kills are great while infected, but they were just kind of clunky, weren't they?
You can see it wasn't finished. It was like a placeholder.
Oh my god.
And not just that one, but there's also this one.
Ooh, please shove it down the spine.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Oh, that's good.
I would have personally loved if it had been in the noggin, but it's a big improvement on what we had before, isn't it?
Massive improvement, yeah. Massive improvement. These things are missing in the game.
Yes.
All these kind of animations, or a bit more variety in the animations. So that's a move in the right direction for that kind of thing.
Yeah. Now, anyone who makes content, I've already had one person reach out to me. Send me a DM on Twitter. Send me a DM in the DayZ Discord. I will happily share these files with you so you can do a video showcasing the new animations. To further elaborate on this as well, we've actually been talking a bit on the podcast of late about how small the DayZ dev team is. And Scotty... God bless him, actually gave me some more information on this point. So they actually have options on the DayZ dev team for when they do need to get stuff done. The core team is considered small, but we have the privilege of obtaining resources from BI. They've got access to an animation team, an audio team, QA, publishing, and so on. So whilst the actual DayZ dev team is relatively small, when they do need to get access to these other things, they can get these members of the team in, as you've seen with this. And apparently, he also said to me, this is not all that's coming up in the near future either. There's more animations.
So, see, I'm gonna put it slightly on blast. And judging by what the chat has reacted, I don't like this animation. I don't like it. It doesn't look finished. It looks a bit. I would hope that this is just like a just implemented version of the animation. Maybe they'll do a little bit of tweaking, but it just doesn't look.
Which animation
right.
do you think is not finished? The first one or the second one?
Both. I don't think
he turns the thing to the side and stabs it in the gut.
I would prefer like Boydie said, in the stomach. No, if it was somewhere like in the head and the neck or upper chest, yes, definitely. But in the stomach, it's like no.
You also gotta remember, these aren't full-fledged zombies. They're people with high infectious rabies, right? So they're gonna kill over if you spill their guts.
Yeah, but the thing is, and this is why I would have preferred a head kill. Gut wounds are a very slow and long, painful way to die. Whereas, a shot to the head, but I'm still happy regardless. It's better than what we've got.
Definitely.
And it shows that they've got access to it, but I would have really, really fucking blown my load if it had been a headshot. What about you, Gecko?
Well, it's like The Walking Dead. So a lot of, when they stab them in the head, and it's a kill point, isn't it? A headshot, instant.
Do you reckon it could have been because they're worried about potential ratings?
I What do you mean?
It's
ratings
not, it's not.
No.
It doesn't appear as violent by just going for a gut kill as opposed to a headshot.
I don't know. The fact that you could put a whole AKM drum mag into a person's head when they're dead on the floor. I mean,
I'm just curious as to why they went with a gut shot, Jad, as opposed to a headshot.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'd be curious to see their reason why they decided to go with a gut shot instead of in the neck.
That's an easy change, though, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
I mean, I'm not well versed in animations. I've never really dabbled in it, really, but I would hope that that there is going to be more animations introduced in this patch in the future. Maybe this is just one of many coming in, which is cool. That's great. The fact that we are getting new animations, even though I'm not a fan of it, is great. And the actual confirmation that if they need an animator, they can just get one at any time, considering there's the wide acknowledgement that the DayZ dev team doesn't actually have an animator. So that's great. So, you know, I don't agree with the current animation, but we are getting progress. Just because I don't like doesn't mean it's bad progress. It's progress.
Thing to notice is that this is a major improvement compared to what we have currently right now.
Definitely.
You walk up, you swing it once, you kill it immediately. Like, you can aim for the head, but like it just is janky. So this looks really cool. They can improve upon it, with head kills and stuff, but like at least they're giving us something a little bit more badass looking.
Absolutely. It's the whole approach. It's the whole approach. Do you want it right now, or do you want to wait until it's fully completed and we'll pull it in 4 months' time? But we could start using that now, and it's definitely better than what it is at the moment.
Chuckles is saying he thinks it was the solar plexus. And if it is the solar plexus, he's right. That's a very, very bad place to get injured. Because it's the weak point of one of the few spots you can actually easily get to the lungs, but it is quite a specific point to aim at.
Regardless, you know, what they got going, even though I don't like it, it's like, you know, it's progress. It is something new, and I still can't wait to see what else that they do bring or bring back, depending on what happens. So, you know, if any of the dev team are watching, keep it up.
Fucking oath. I was quite excited. You know, it was. I love the stealth kills, and Gecko, you said you like to play the environment and all the rest of it. So I imagine you've many a time used the stealth kill as well. It's a great way for taking out infected without having them more aggro on you.
I've probably only done that maybe 5 times. So I always seem to aggro them before that can happen. Don't know what I'm doing wrong, but it is a good thing that you can do that.
Yeah,
you can sneak up on them, get them when they're weak.
Yep.
Now, what else have we got on the agenda, folks? Let me just click back to this. Now, we talked about the console bots issue. Gecko, have you played on console at all?
I've never played it on console, no.
It fucking amazes me that you can play the game on console. It really does. It's come so far, but we did a short video talking about it. Now, there's an issue on console, Gecko and Jad, where basically on Steam, if you want to have multiple accounts of DayZ, you've got to buy multiple versions of it. I imagine, like most streamers, you've probably got a couple of accounts, Gecko.
I've only got one.
Only got one. Oh, you balls deep, all in on one, eh?
Yeah.
I know a lot of the big guys, like Running Man, and that they've got multiple accounts so they can switch between them, because people, you know, especially when player lists are able to be viewed and that, people watch it to see who's on and try to identify the accounts of the big guys. So it might be worth considering it if you ever get a problem down the line. But when it comes to console, all you need to do is buy one version of the game, and you can create on Xbox, I think it's up to 33 different accounts. And all of
33
those 33 alts, and all of those can be on one server.
Oh man.
Yeah. we did a short video where we discussed this topic, and oh my fucking God, the arrogance of some of the people in the replies was gobsmacking. It was like, but I kind of understand it. I think there are people who do it only because everyone else is doing it. And there were people basically saying they would raid a base gecko. Have you ever done base raids in that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Could you imagine raiding a base that had 5 people in it and each of them had 30 different ults in that base?
Well, I've been on raids where they just kept logging in with their ults, maybe 3 or 4 at most.
Yeah.
But having up to 33, it's just unplayable. There's no competition in that if they're always going to win. Just so, my guy's dead. Log in with the other guy.
And even on the flip side, being an honest person and only having the one account and being in your base defending it from a raid, and they've managed to bring over, they call it smurfing, bring over 10 ults to do the raid on your base, and you just keep killing them and they just keep spawning in, and you're like, how am I meant to win this? I haven't got enough ammo to kill 100 bloody different players and that. But some of the replies we got were just fucking get good. And it was like, are you kidding me? If you were good, you wouldn't need to have 10 different ults, buddy.
That's not really a response. It's just clueless.
Bad.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
But even people are saying it in chat, because it looks like you've a lot of the people you brought over as well, mate. You've got a lot of console people who watch you as well. And it really saddened me when I heard about this. I made the comment, Gecko, that they're missing the point of DayZ by using alt accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a completely unfair advantage, and the odds are always stacked against you. But it has happened on PC a couple of times as well, but not to that extent where you could have up to 33 of them.
Well, you've got to buy the extra. You've got to buy the extra versions of the game to have an alt account on PC.
Yeah.
So
there's people that would do that, though.
Yeah, I've got 2 accounts. I did a video way back, and I actually linked to it in this video where I said, I hadn't thought it through. And I said, this is why you need a second account, because you can get back into the action. And I had it explained to me in no uncertain terms that that's bullshit. And I went, I never thought of it like that. Thank you for telling me. And I made a response video saying, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'd never thought about the fact that it gives me an unfair advantage. I was aware of it, but it just didn't click that it was a bad thing. And that was like 4 or 5 years ago I did that, and never done it since. And then to hear that it's just par for course on console, it's got to be fucking hard playing on console, man, when you've got people, you kill someone and then they just log in with their alt account and kill you back, and they're coming in with an unfair advantage. You had no... The problem is where this arises, and we didn't really discuss it in full depth, but... with DayZ, a lot of people will, Gecko, you probably do this yourself. They'll watch a base for a while to get an idea of how many people there are on PC, how much activity there is. And, they might watch it for days. They might watch it for weeks to work out how many people are in this clan. And then they plan accordingly, and they come in and they start taking out the defenders all the other way around. The defenders are being raided, and they know the clan that's raiding them, and they know they've got 10 people, and they've killed 8 of them. So they're going to expect there's only 2 more people. And that's based on the information that they've gained in-game, what they're seeing happen before their eyes, and what they know about their enemy. But if that other clan then starts bringing ults in, that's giving the people bringing in those ults an unfair advantage, because the people on the ground who've done everything right, watched the situation, worked out how many players are there, aren't aware that all these other players are going to be suddenly just spawning in locations that they may have checked before and gone, over there to our left, that's clear. And then all of a sudden 10 people spawn in over there after they've killed 10. It's not DayZ, it's not cricket, it's not kosher.
Mm-hmm.
That's true, yeah. And when you think about it, it takes the fun out of that, because a raid, defending your base against raiders and having a good time. I've only ever been on one raid like that when we got raided, and we had a good fight with them. I think 360 people died in the space of 5 hours.
Oh,
because they just kept coming back from the spawn and picking up a gun. But it was a lot of fun. Everyone said GG after, and they didn't get to raid it.
And that's a fair mechanic, but they've still got to run in and get to a dead body. You know, so you could possibly see them coming back in. That I've got no issue with. You know, we've all got memories of those battles. I remember back when DayZ Standalone first started, those big battles in Electro and Cherno Gecko. Yeah, and people were just running in as freshies, and I think it's where the whole killer freshie started from, because a freshie is one of the most dangerous things in DayZ. They've got nothing to lose.
Yeah, and he can grow very quickly into a geared guy.
Oh,
so you're going to take him down.
How many hero to zeros or zero to hero videos have you watched in the years?
I don't know.
Probably lots. But yeah. But it blew my mind, the response, lad. Just the arrogance of some of the people that, you know. But I feel for those who are doing it because everyone else is doing it. And if they want to enjoy the game, they've got no choice but to do the same.
It's a pretty shitty mentality to have, like, just because somebody else is doing it means that you're allowed to. It's like, no, that's not the case. You know, if Microsoft, or because it is mainly Microsoft, with how it all works. You know, if the account that has DayZ has Xbox Live, then you can just create any of kind of like alt accounts on your console, and then bish bash bosh, there you go, sorted. But it's just not a good mentality you have. You're ruining the game for those who want to play the game legitimately. You know, the game now runs well on the latest consoles, which is great, you know, as we had Scale Speeder on to kind of like demonstrate that, which is really cool. It's just, what's the need? What's the purpose? Like,
there is no
why?
purpose.
The issue lies with Xbox, right? Is it an Xbox issue?
No,
No, it's PlayStation as well. PlayStation has the issue as well. I just don't think...
DayZ can't control that side of things?
No. So it's a console issue. It's something designed so that, you know, a family can buy an Xbox and everyone in the family can have it. But
do you have 32 people in your family? Like,
yeah, 33
where are you
people.
getting this ridiculous number? Why are you allowing 32 accounts? If anything, the majority of players who play console need to put pressure on BI to reduce that amount down to like 5 or 10. Be reasonable, right?
They've said they're aware of it, but yeah. What were you going to say, Jad?
It's just the mentality about winning or trying to win, where DayZ is a game where you can't win, but people think that by gaining any advantage that they can, they're going to win the game.
That is a really good way to put it, mate.
If you play to win, you're never truly going to enjoy the game because you're constantly trying to manipulate things that you can't really control.
Look at the game. Look at Gecko's video that I showed a bit of before. Yeah, sometimes an L is a W in DayZ. It's what did Dean Hall call it back in the day? The anti-game. It's like you're bang on the money there, Jad. It's not all about winning in DayZ, and if it is for you, yeah. I hate saying this because you can play DayZ however you want, but in my opinion, you're playing DayZ wrong. Sometimes those deaths or those negative interactions are some of the best, aren't they, Gecko?
Yeah, they are. Absolutely. We're all going to end up a Freshspawn eventually.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're not going to... It's just a cycle. How long do you want that cycle to be?
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with Jad, what he just said.
I don't think playing to win is a style of playing DayZ. You might KOS everyone just because you want to survive, but that's not necessarily playing to win. Playing to win is gaining any advantage that you can, whether it's in-game or out of game, to win over other players or to do better than other players. But yeah, people can play how they like, but I don't think playing to win is really relevant when you talk about that.
No, it's yeah. I mean, I agree there. Like, people can play the DayZ however they want. It's one of those very few games that you are allowed to do that. But if you're using a known exploit to gain the upper hand in any kind of situation, then, to put it plainly, you're a bit of a twat. Like, straight up. So,
I think, the more you play the game, the more you understand. And one of these days, you'll figure out that playing to win is not what you want to be doing. You want to be playing in the moment and just enjoying things as they come. But
we'll go with the flow.
That's the way to play the game, really. And I'm saying play the game. I'm not saying technically in game. I'm saying as an external aspect. That's how you should be to get the most out of the game.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of the game, good old Safaplays did a poll on Twitter. Did you see this one, Gecko?
I didn't know. What was it on?
Arma 2 DayZ Mod is better than DayZ Standalone. I'm sharing my screen so you guys can see it as well. And given his audience, of course, the result was going to be that most people agree with him. You know, whenever influencers do polls like this, a lot of people are just going to agree with them because that's what they're saying. A better question would have been, what is better, Arma 2 DayZ Mod or DayZ Standalone? I made a comment though, Gecko. Did you ever play Arma 2 DayZ Mod, mate?
I never did, no. I was never part of that generation.
I watched a lot of footage of it, watched a lot of people play the game back in the day. You know, that's when I first discovered it. It was before Standalone got announced, and I was so excited for the DayZ Standalone as well. But I made a comment that the poll wasn't specific enough, because my understanding, and I believe some of you guys on the panel here have got more experience with Arma 2 than I do, but there were so many different variations of Arma 2 DayZ. There was Epoch, there was... Lad, you know more about it, mate. What else was there?
I think I could be wrong here. I think there was Epoch, Overpoch.
Overpoch, that's the one I was struggling with.
There was it was kind of like separated in like 3 different segments, so to speak. Then you had like your main PvP, where there's not really much base building or anything like that, and then you had your base building ones and whatever, and then you had your vanilla experience, so to speak. And yes, I am going by Soviet Womble's videos about DayZ, because I can't fucking remember it any other way. But DayZ, how do I say this? Arma 2 DayZ Mod is not better than Standalone. It's not. In terms of technology, in terms of pretty much everything, it's just not better. And it is straight up, what's the word I'm looking for? Nostalgia kicking in. Straight up. Yeah. How people can think
rose tinted glasses.
From, like, how people think a 10-year-old mod, pretty much 10-year-old mod, is better than, yes, the Standalone has had a very rough development, but it's in a much better place than the mod ever was. Mm-hmm. Might not have as much content in the standard, but exactly, it's...
Sada's right with some of his comments here, Jad. You know, Arma 2 was pretty much a complete game. So therefore, you had access to choppers and armored vehicles, and, you know, Standalone, as he says here, doesn't even have a push bike.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to compare the Arma 2 mod and Standalone, because Standalone has kind of gone its own direction, and the Arma 2 mod, although it was the original vision, it's very different to the Standalone now. I don't think they're very comparable. Certainly, DayZ Standalone nowadays is a much more recent game, so the technology is better. But to say that DayZ Standalone is better than the mod is not fair to say, because you can't overall say it's better. It's completely opinion. It's subjective.
Yeah, it really is. Like, I mean, I will admit, I've never played mod. I didn't even have a PC that was capable of playing games back then, right? I was so but I used to watch a lot of, you know, Frankie on PC way back when, and that's the thing. It's like, whereas there is a lot of content in the current Standalone that was never in, say, like the DayZ mod. And it is an absolute shame that that content never really came out, and it's been teased for absolute years. There's got to be an actual valid reason, instead of like they couldn't be asked. Like there's no way about that. But I just personally can't see how the Arma 2 mod could ever be better than what Standalone has now.
Dancer
glad you
Jesus is in chat. Sorry, Dump.
Yeah.
Dancer Jesus is in chat saying he can't understand why the helis never got ported. Apparently, modders brought them back into 0.62 and they work perfectly. I think this comes back again to what Spud alluded to last week on the podcast, in that if they did bring in all these military vehicles and everything that Armour had, what would modders do with the game then? They'd basically jump the gun on Armour 4, Dumpgrah.
I guess. I mean, it's kind of silly to think that BI cares about what modders can do with the game, but I guess. It's not like they've cared about what the modders wanted to do with the game in the past, and I know they've been working with us better, but like, I'm not sure if that's the real reason why they haven't put helicopters in. I think the biggest reason is vehicles. Even cars on high pop servers are undrivable. Can you imagine helicopters on those kind of servers? Like, it just wouldn't work. So they probably want to fix their vehicle engine background sim before they ever try to introduce such a thing.
Yeah, I mean, this how would I word this? It's like,
with words.
No, I'm going to use fucking sign language, mate. No, but it's like, when you really think about DayZ Standalone right now as its core, would it really be beneficial? I mean, yeah, sure, you have your end game kind of like, oh, I've got this like BTR kind of vehicle or armored carrier or whatever. I don't fucking know. In the grand scheme of what DayZ Vanilla is trying to achieve, that doesn't really go out well. Like, the vehicles that they have brought in, they're not military, they're all civilian. The military weapons, there's quite a few, but it's even the latest one, you couldn't really do much with it. And, you know, the landscape in general, where it's certainly got some military elements, and there's a lot of elements that they've brought in the past, it hasn't really garnered towards the major PvP, which people have always been asking for. It's always based on the survivalist aspect. Why would a general survivor who has barely any military training, if any, be able to pilot, say, for example, a fucking helicopter, or learn how to drive a tank, or APC, or whatever? It does not make any sense. I mean, I am incredibly using a lot of copium right now, but at the same time, it's like, that kind of stuff, whereas it would be cool to have in Standalone, there's no point. There's really no point. It's not what Bohemian Interactive is going for at the end of the day.
With expansion, they added helicopters. You can go from one point to the end of the other point of the map in like less than 5 minutes. It completely makes the entire 256 kilometer Shinaris map look small. You know? Yeah,
exactly. And it's like, yeah, sure, it's cool to have helicopters and that, but at the end of the day, it's not really what I would imagine. Obviously, I'm not fucking gospel or anything like that, but I imagine that's not what I'm gonna fucking preach it, boy. Let's go. But no, it's like there's no point at the end of the day for Standalone to have stuff like that. Again, it would be cool, but it's just pointless. They want to try, I would imagine, they want to try and focus more on like getting some, you know, really cool weapons that are in the means of what the video game's trying to go for, and have those survivalist aspects reintroduced. But obviously it takes time. You know, people complain that modders can bring all this stuff and the DayZ dev team can't. Modders can just do it. They don't have deadlines or guidelines or specific... Yeah, they can just make it, and it's why some mods are, to say it plainly, a bit trash. Whereas the DayZ dev team and any other development team, they have to prioritize, they have to do a lot of balancing, bug testing, all sorts of stuff, even before like the public can see it, and people don't really understand that. But again, that's besides the main point, and I'm going off in a tangent because fuck it, why not?
I mean,
but
there's also the other argument that why DayZ doesn't have helicopters and stuff is because DayZ is technically the beta for the Infusion engine.
It actually is. It actually fucking is, to be fair. Like, there's no point in creating all this like this tech for the new game and then port it back over to the Standalone. They tried with the M16A2. That's in the new Armour game. I think, yeah, it is. So it can work, but again, from what I understood, the only major thing about the M1680 that people were excited for was burst fire. That was it.
Yeah, going back to the whole Arma 2 thing, me and Lad actually got an opportunity to play on a Arma 2 original mod server from our friend, and it was I wouldn't say horrendous, but like if I had played Arma 2 from back in the day, I would have loved it. But I was playing it as a first time player. I couldn't stand it. It was incredibly difficult to even pick up a weapon. And that sounds really silly because I'm pretty sure a lot of people in the chat probably know how to do it that. But, it took me a couple minutes to figure out the inventory system, that kind of stuff. And DayZ is a learning curve. But I felt like going back to Arma 2 without all of the quality of life improvements was like jumping off a steep cliff and hoping I can get back up.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
even after all the synchronization issues with helicopters or vehicles in general in DayZ, I don't think adding helicopters would suit the game in its current state. I don't think the direction that the game's gone in would fit helicopters very well. As Dump said, you can go across the map in less than 5 minutes. It just almost breaks the game, I suppose.
At the end of the day, Arma 2 was a great game. Arma 2 DayZ Mod was an amazing game. It basically invented a genre or perfected a genre, but the gaming has come so far since then. It's a natural human reaction to look back at something. I've struggled to get into Red Dead Redemption 2 because Red Dead Redemption was such an amazing game for me. The story was one of the best storylines, if not the best storylines I've ever played. And my son bought me Red Dead Redemption 2 and I was excited for it. And I started playing it and it just didn't feel right because there was no main character in it. I know he's there as a bit player, but I've struggled to get into it, much to my chagrin. But what do you reckon, Gecko?
But I think they're not comparable, as you guys have been saying. But you can take inspiration from parts of it and try and bring that over to this game. There's no reason why you can't do that. I mean, Jad's doing it with he's looking at 6.2 and he's picking out the bits that were competitive or even better than the features that are in this and putting over almost. So you can take inspiration from stuff like that. There's no reason why you either one or the other. There's no reason to be like that. So there's benefits in taking it over.
I mean, this is the same thing with nostalgia with any video game you played in the past. I loved the game Gothic. Went back and played it. It's terrible. Can't stand playing it because I'm spoiled now with all my quality of life improvements. But that's the thing. Like any nostalgia game has that nostalgia, because it was your childhood. It was, young days or whatever. But, gaming's progressed hugely, made leaps and bounds, and we just got to remember that.
Yeah. I mean, don't get us wrong. Even though I heavily disagree with what Sada Plays has said, I respect his right to say it. Like I said, I don't agree with it, and I've stated my reasons why. And even with Jad, going in to create a mod that simulates the feeling of .62 gunplay, which is great. Again, that's a mod. And going back to what Dump said as well, Bohemia doesn't care about modders. They do, but modders saved the company. If it wasn't for DayZ, the company would be dead. It would be in the water. Arma 2 did not sell well upon release until the DayZ mod came out, and they sold over 1 million copies of Arma 2 very, very quickly once that mod was released. So they got a thing. Exactly, and they've really got to they really have to thank modders, and they did when they bought the rights to DayZ. And whereas you might have the impression they don't care, I mean, they do care about the game. It's just their priorities have always been military simulation. Always has been. I mean, the first Arma game, it was licensed to military contractors before it came out to the public.
Oh, they're still doing that.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's the most authentic military simulation you can really get. And the fact that the public get access to that's still really cool. But anyway, that's really besides the point. So
now, something else to talk about. I know others have done it.
Oh, the booby trap.
This is another one of these mods, like Spud said about the better sounds last week, where Bohemian need to say, dude, here's a couple of $1,000 or whatever. Can we steal this and just put it back into the game? It needs to come back in. It needs some good custom animations as well. I fucking miss the tripwire and grenade. Gecko, what about you, buddy?
I never used that. I've been playing since 2014. Yeah, I never used that.
You never used
Probably
it?
Didn't know how to.
Okay. Mate, it's one of my biggest issues has always been the landmines, in that there's such a low skill troll weapon. I'm glad they finally reduced it where it doesn't insta-kill you if you're on complete health, because grenades generally aren't designed to kill, they're designed to fuck you over. When they were, landmines, anti-personnel mines were designed to just severely injure you. And yes, you'd probably die in a post-apocalyptic world from the injuries, but it always frustrated me. At least with the tripwire, you had to get the wire, you had to carry it, then you had to go cut the sticks, then you had to build the actual tripwire, then you had to plant the tripwire, then you had to have the grenade to put on there. So there was some element of skill involved, as opposed to just seeing something, picking it up, dropping it on the floor and arming it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a lot more visible than a landmine as well.
Yeah.
I recall an experience going up some stairs in a camo building.
Boom.
I walked over a landmine. Every time I go into a camo building, you got to check the stairs, because you can place the landmine on the stairs so you almost can't see it.
Yep.
So, yeah, I won't get fooled again by that one. The tripwire, at least even if it is on some stairs, hopefully you'd be able to see the wire, so you'd have a better chance at noticing it before going through it.
Definitely. I mean,
it's great to see things like this coming back into the game. They're a lot of fun once you get one, Gecko. You will find yourself having a lot of fun if you get on a server that has them.
Yeah.
Even the example that he uses here, he gets the infected to set it off.
Nice.
That is a nice touch.
That is a very nice touch.
And it's a good form of progression, I suppose. Like that way, it's like, yeah, sure, you can scour around for a landmine, or you can create yourself a little, just quick little booby trap if you've got the resources, and that's great.
Yeah,
I love that. And
agreed.
Who done this actually? Who made this
Expansion?
Oh shit! Fuck. Okay. All right. Fair Dame's expansion.
Yep.
Very nice. The boys. Absolutely love that. Absolutely love that.
I love the traps like this. I wish there was more on the workshop. I know OP from OP base items used to have a kind of a locker.
Is there ever going to be down the road where
you can attach a grenade to it? And
yes.
if you open the locker, it would pull the pin on the grenade, and it would go off after so many seconds. But you could actually walk up to it with a pair of pliers, and if you saw a little wire wrapped around the handle, you could then disarm the grenade trap. I thought that was really cool back then.
Yeah. And I think it was either War Dog or Jacob Mango or somebody who, I'm pretty sure it was War Dog, who made it so you could, like, they create a false dug stash. So if you were to dig it up with a shovel, the grenade would like pop out and blow you up. I love that.
We watched that a few weeks ago. Like DayZ, in my opinion, that's one of the biggest areas. Base building, whether you like it or not, is here. They need more base defenses. I was even disappointed, as buggy as it was, I was even disappointed when they nerfed barbed wire, because it was one of the few things that people could put in their bases that would kill people offline, or when you were offline, who were trying to raid your base, if they didn't remove the barbed wire or blow up a wall or something like that. What do you reckon, Gecko?
Yeah, well, in vanilla anyway, there's the variation in buildings. It's pretty straightforward. There's not much to it.
Yeah.
But there were some bugs with the barbed wire where you'd be off of it and still getting cut. But I think that's been fixed now, isn't it? By now.
Yeah.
as far as I'm aware, it's fixed.
Yeah, so barbed wire again is something that would be good. But there could be so many more things you could do with your base. I mean, fortification of windows and all that kind of stuff exists in other mods.
Firing ports. Yeah, build that into a wall.
I have a question regarding mods. You guys are, you know what you're doing. Is it possible to replace chicken's behavior with a bear's behavior?
It is.
It is.
Yeah, it is possible.
I want that. I want that.
I'll text my friends and to let them know that you can actually do that.
Mate, that would be absolutely phenomenal.
Dude, you guys put that on the workshop, I guarantee you so many people. Because it's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, imagine being terrified by a chicken when you walk into Cammy and you hear it. Like, oh no. And they go around Cammy.
You roar like a bear. You're like, oh my god. Dude, it makes
something I want to add on
Nintendo 64 Zelda games when you mess with the chickens.
What was that, Jed?
On the topic of the tripwire, it seems strange to me that that Bohemia haven't added this in, because there's so many things in the game files where it's half completed, or they've got the assets ready, but they just haven't done the script side or engine or programming or whatever. But it seems like such a small win for them to just, I don't know, put a developer on it for a week or something, get it in the game, and then they include that in an update. If the assets are ready, I don't think they lack design, or what they call designers, which are scripters, to implement stuff like this. If a modder can do it, a Bohemia developer will be able to do it very, very easily.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's not really a case of like if they can do it or not. It's just a case of, is it a priority for that particular update? Like I said before, they've got to have a structure, and they've got to do stuff in a more organized and certain way. And I can probably guarantee there's a lot of stuff that the actual developers want to re-implement or to fix, but they can't because the person above them is like, nope, you need to do this, you need to fix that. And it's like, okay, because at the end of the day, they got bills to pay. They got to listen to the big man first.
Even the small patch notes, their fixed list is like 3/4 of it, right?
Yeah.
So at least they're always fixing something.
Yeah, that's very true. And there are some pressing issues that I hope they do get around to fixing. But at the end of the day, it's like I wish I knew like their actual structure on like from concept, or at least the start of like when they're doing the new update to publishing it. Maybe if Scotty, next time we have him on, Boydie, we could actually talk to him a little bit about it, just so we can get more transparency and just a little bit more information. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. But it was good to see this, and like Spud said, this is just from the vanilla file, so it wasn't one that someone had to get models made for and everything like that, but it's just it needs to come back ASAP, because it's something that would go across to console as well. We should make them happy. And like I said, when it comes to building bases, especially on somewhere like console where they're stuck with only the vanilla method, it's just something little extra. I would just love to see more booby traps that people could build to defend their bases, because there's nothing worse than an offline raid, knowing that there was no way these people died unless they made any noise and someone else started attacking them while they were raiding your base. At least it gives you something to defend your base, whether it be a booby trap wall or spike traps. And, Scum has got amazing base defenses. Even Rust. You look at Rust, it goes over the top of its bloody turret guns and stuff like that. DayZ's got landmines. That's it.
And bear traps.
Oh, sorry, bear traps. I forget about the bear traps.
Yeah, but still, that's not enough, is it?
No.
It really isn't enough. But at the end of the day, it's like when you build a base in DayZ, due to the limited, I wouldn't say resources, but the limited availability of structures you can build, you kind of got to prep for that. You got to prep for when you log on. You know that your base is going to be like half demolished and your shit's gone.
Yep.
And like it's all well and good to compare like DayZ building mechanics to Rust and Scum, but they are completely different levels. Like Rust has a really good upgrade path for your structures, from your your shit, you just basic ones, and then you got your concrete and your metal and all that kind of stuff. Scum, I'm not too sure on. I don't have enough information on that. All
Scum
I do know
has
is that
5 levels of base that you can upgrade from sticks to planks to metal to brick to concrete.
And DayZ only has 2. Yep. And DayZ only has 2, and all you need is 6 to 8 grenades to get through a fence, and that is it.
Yep.
So
hopefully we'll see more. Hopefully we'll see more. Like Spud said the other week, devs, give them some money and just fucking buy it and implement it into vanilla if you can, if you need to, because that would just make fucking everyone's day. Something that, yes, there'd be the haters, Jad, who, they just we're supposed to be excited because they've reintroduced something that was in vanilla. That I hate that argument, Jad.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's a quick win for them. They can. It's already half of it's already in the game files.
Yeah.
They can chuck a developer on it. It's a quick win. It's low effort to do, or maybe I'm being ignorant, but yeah, relatively low effort. And they get to say, look, we've added this full feature. It's a completely new item, fully functioning, and we've put it in this update. And I think the players would be a lot happier if more quick wins like that were in, because there's so much stuff in the game files that can can be classed as quick wins where it just needs scripts to get it working.
Yeah.
I mean, going through the game files, the EUG is still there, the Red 9 is still there, the rack is still there. It's all still there. It just needs to be touched up, and the animation's finalized, and obviously it's balancing, and then it's back in. I mean, somebody on the DayZ Modders Discord, I think it was actually Mario E, it could have been someone else, they brought back a functioning EUG. There was still a little bit of tidbits, like not complete right, like the magazine coming out of the magwell wasn't animated, but it was still an AUG, it was still working, and you could still use it. And with just that extra support from Bohemia, modders could do it, or they could prioritize and get it back working. And it's like I can't remember if it was the last one or the one before Boydie, when we've done a podcast, and I said that the EUG actually had no animations. I was wrong. I was dead wrong. So for anybody who was on that podcast watching, I just want to say I apologize for the misinformation. Whoopsie. I thought I was right. I was dead fucking wrong. But
how dare you?
Oh, yeah. But when you look at the game files, yeah, you are right. There is a lot of stuff there that used to be there that is just half finished, and hopefully they'll come back. Like the M249, it's all there, but it's just clearly not bloody finished.
I was actually hoping we had some Lax Hawthorne subs in chat, and they could just start spamming shame in chat for you, mate. Yep, that's it. You're sacked, mate. Spud's made the call. He's a moderator in chat. Okay. Bye-bye.
Right. See you later, lads. Bye.
I feel betrayed. The betrayal. Mate, how many fucking times have I gotten things wrong on this show? I don't think there's an episode where I haven't gotten something wrong. But no. There we go. There it is. There's the shame.
Shame.
But yeah. What else have we got? We've got this one. Now, Gecko, did you ever play The Wall?
The Wall? No.
Oh, God.
What is that?
It's the Trump's Wall server.
Oh, Trump's Wall. No, I never played that. So
you were probably aware of it, though. You know, back in the day, it was a monster.
I heard some things. Yeah, I heard some things about it. Probably why I didn't play.
Yeah, look, it was one of those servers, where it was all about the quick PvP, and a lot of the times, it ends up with a bit of a toxic player base and all the rest of it. But it was a popular server. It was number one back in the days. But for some reason, some guy by the name of Fonzy took it upon himself to start harassing them, whether it be with hacks or DDoSes or whatever. And it's a shadow, a shell of its former self. I did a stream the other day where I wanted to get Fonzy on, bit risky because he's known for some edgy stuff in chat. And he said he wouldn't do it because he basically said the Modern would be there and Modern would lie. And I said, no, it'll just be me and you. We need to talk about it. But it's pretty bad what's happened to the server in that there's apparently an exploit. Lad, do you know much about the hack that they're using?
So one of the hacks that I know that the Third Temple used is Acid Rain, and they would basically absolutely ramp the rain completely, like past what you can usually set it as the max, and it would be that loud it can cause very, very bad issues. Your hearing, even ruin your headphones in some cases. There's obviously the DDoSing, and there's just a whole bunch of stuff that they've done. And I mean, I don't like talking about the topic because I really dislike the wall. I really dislike those servers, not because of what they cater for in terms of playstyle, because at the end of the day, you can play DayZ how you want. It's what they have done in the past to players. I've heard stories of players who's just gotten banned randomly from admins because of whatever fucking reason. The clear bias when players have been racist, and then when one particular person who's just said one naughty word, they immediately get banned. Which obviously racism's not fucking fun. It's not right. Don't do it, obviously. And
how much we got? Yeah, we got.
The wall has had a very sketchy history, from my understanding. So I'm not going to say that it's justified what the Third Temple has done. And they have their reasons. And they have tried targeting of a service, but they decided obviously not to. So it's like, in a way, I am glad that Modern is gone for the sake of his own sanity.
Yeah.
Because he's invested 6 years into that server, and one of the things that server did was helping the developers with an issue when 0.63 and 1.0 was out, in terms of the map and the map streaming or something. I don't fucking know. It was something to do with persistence, I think. And yeah, cool, that's brilliant. But you can't really ignore the rest. So it's like.
It's also the fact that they haven't fixed this issue, Jad. This exploit, I'll play it now just so you can hear what it sounds like.
But yeah.
The fact that they haven't fixed this yet, Jad, is what concerns me. Because at the moment they're focused on Trump's wall. What if they decide to start attacking day one or day zero or New Dawn or XDK or something like that?
Mm-hmm. I
think there was an instance where a similar cheat was used on the Karma Crew servers, whereby the cheater managed to manipulate the weather so that thunder was happening over and over again in a very short period.
Yes, that wasn't weather specifically. That was Dab's framework. It uses the thunder effects that the anomaly uses from the mask. Somebody managed to get into that, exploit it on servers, but Dab has since patched that. That doesn't happen anymore, as far as I'm aware. But with the Acid Rain, one of the updates actually clamped rain and clamped how far you can actually do it. So it was fixed. It was fixed, but the Third Temple, Fonzy, whatever you want to call them, they got around that. And yeah, I mean, if more people band it together to get more information about how it's done, then maybe it could be solved quicker, but people don't. So, I mean...
But
I actually looked at the exploit briefly for a while. I was able to replicate manipulating the weather through a mod. That the thunder thing I was talking about, I don't think it was Dab's framework, because I managed to replicate that on a local server. But I think the main exploit is that cheaters are able to send information to the server that is then synced with all other players. That's where the problem comes from, and that is, nice. I think as far as I know, it's it's a DayZ vanilla issue.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to have to be fixed by the DayZ devs. I don't know the ins and outs of how it works.
Have you had much issue with hackers and that yourself, Gecko?
Not really, no. Not too many. There was this one time in between Cami and Electro, there was like a bombing run. Someone was just bombing that road, which was really weird. Like explosions, like 50 of them at once, and killing all the Freshspawns. But that was on 6.2. That was a long time ago. But since then, I don't know if I've encountered one, whether they're got an aimbot or whatever. I don't know, but nothing notable like that. No. But that's the dirty side of DayZ sometimes.
Yeah,
that stuff does go on.
It does. I mean, like all online games, DayZ, Rust, Scum, whatever.
Yeah,
they'll always have that dirty aspect, that dirty dark side, the naughty side of the game. And I mean, how we've found and banned a fair share of cheaters and hackers in XTK, and any other popular server has. But it's just stepping up the security and trying to make it as an enjoyable experience for anybody else who doesn't wish to do that. I have an interest in not cheating per se, but knowing the mechanics and the tools that they use, because it is knowledge, and knowledge, no matter if it's good or bad, it's
helpful,
knowledge.
Isn't it, to know that?
It is. I mean, I won't say any specifics, but we had one guy who came in and was like telling us, "Oh yeah, he's doing all this, that." And then when I found out he was just fucking bullshitting, we banned him anyway. But he showed us hacking tools for Tarkov. And it was like, I didn't even know there were any for Tarkov. So it was like, okay, interesting. So even though it's not DayZ specific, you still learn something about it. And it's like, okay, fair enough. And if people who have access or who's developed these tools, yeah, sure, they lose the advantage of telling the developers or whoever how to fix these kind of loopholes in their systems and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it's like you get people who find out like loopholes and systems, and then they get paid quite a bit of money about it, or they get told to shut the fuck up, and then the situation gets worse. So, but it's a never-ending battle. It is a never-ending battle. It is a shame, but it's just something that we all have to, as players and developers and server owners, we just kind of have to deal with it as it comes.
I'm sure that the cheaters who use the acid rain don't limit themselves to just that. No. I'm sure they probably have their hands in loads of different cheats and probably ones that they sell so they can actually make some sort of living out of it.
I mean, to be fair, I mean...
Backdoor.
Oh, don't get started with that, boy, D. I mean, see, the thing is that, because the Third Temple, like, follows me on Twitter, which was kind of weird when I found out, but they posted a screenshot ages ago of them having, like, a whole bunch of, like, DayZ, like, I wouldn't say accounts, but, like, copies of the game. So it's... No matter if they get banned, they can still easily just fucking come back on another account, and they obviously sell mods and selling cheats, and that's a very profitable business, unfortunately.
Well, you saw it briefly when I typed in DayZ and hacks, and just the amount of videos that are up advertising links where you can buy hacks for it. So, what were you going to say, Jad?
They're well aware on how server owners and developers counter their cheats. They probably very well versed with CF tools. They probably know exactly how CF tools detects different accounts and alt accounts, so they can easily get around it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is horrible, and I know that especially on public servers on PC, especially in the US, there's so many cheaters just speed hacking about, and it's the same speed hack that's been going on since 0.63, and it's still not been fixed. But, I don't know if that's a Bohemia issue or a Battle issue, but it's still an issue.
Your best bet, folks, is to look for well-run community servers where they have banned the GUIDs of known hackers. A lot of the good, more reputable communities, they share the information and they block them. Do you want to explain how that works, Dumpgrah?
Yeah. I mean, Lad probably knows about it too. But there is a Discord called Server Owners. We usually share information in there, and obviously always investigate yourself when it comes to these kind of accusations. Never take anyone's word for granted, mind you. But it's helpful to look into this stuff because then you can look at the people playing on your server and see if they actually are cheating and they are actually taking advantage of this stuff. I would also like to note that DayZ in 0.08 introduced a speed hack detection config you put into your server config. It goes from a scale of 1 being extremely light to 10 being the extremely hard, and they will actually kick anybody who moves too fast outside of a vehicle and such. So can kind of be helpful for catching people who might be trying to do speed hacks.
So that's not in the files as default?
No, it is.
Oh, okay.
It's in the official server CFG edition.
They can probably make cheats to get past that check, though.
Oh, of course.
Which probably is what they're doing. But I mean, see, with the DayZ server on his Discord, they share ban lists, which is great, especially if you're just starting up. But if you even associate with certain people in the community, even if you just talk to them once, you're not allowed in that Discord.
Yeah, it's a very exclusive Discord. And I say that, I'll probably go get kicked out, watch it. But it's really, I don't know. What's the good word? I mean,
I guess I understand. Yes, I understand the exclusivity, considering how easy it is to just set up a DayZ server, and to somewhat meet the requirements. Meet some of the requirements aren't easy, but yeah. So it's that bit's of a shame, but I mean that's besides the whole point of it all. But I mean, maybe if more people come together to kind of like help one another, then maybe some aspects will change. But
Gavados has mentioned in the YouTube chat that Anarchy's making a very successful YouTube series, isn't he, Gecko? Showcasing how to handle hackers.
Yeah, but he also shows for hackers how to avoid it. So
they can't.
It becomes a double-edged sword there, right?
How does it show to avoid it?
If you're playing on community servers and there's a good admin team behind it, these hackers aren't there for that long. Like, it's urgent for them to get rid of them. And that at the moment seems to be the remedy. If you can't counter these things, all you can do is manage it and get rid of them as soon as possible. But as Jad said, on the official servers, I don't know how that works. So you might have to... How long would it take to get someone banned from that? After reporting? Yeah, it wouldn't be as quick.
People don't get manually banned like they would on a community server. They'd have to get banned by the anti-cheat.
Yeah.
How long would that take?
It probably a lot of people would just go unnoticed. Or
didn't Mark's happen?
A couple of weeks.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Mark's made a video about it, and it was one of the very few instances where the guy actually did get banned from the official servers, but that it's far and few between.
Yeah,
BattlEye, to be honest, is a shit anti-cheat system.
But I don't want to. If people are listening and thinking about the server owners Discord, I don't want to put people off because there is. Philip made a guy called Philip made CF Tools and Omega Manager, which is absolutely amazing. And there are a lot of public ban lists on that where you can see a lot of cheaters are banned on a lot of servers that share ban lists on that, and that's free to use. So if you're thinking about setting up a server,
well, it's free to use, but now it has subscription services. But
yeah.
What I want to say as well, folks, is we're all young once. We all make mistakes. I was having a discussion with someone the other day, and I remember being an older person, probably old enough to be the father of almost everyone in here with me. But back in the day when I was young, in the late 70s, early 80s, and even the 90s when I was gaming, they used to actually, when you would get a game magazine, they would have a little booklet attached to it or a disc that came with cheat codes for games.
Oh, yeah.
Cheating was something that was basically par for course. It was it was accepted, but that was really before multiplayer happened. Yes, there was like the old split screen multiplayer and all the rest of it.
Yes.
Hush, man, I'm 51. Chuckles, you're in chat, mate. You'd remember these as well. Their cheating was just par for the course, and you did it. I've done it myself in the past when I was younger. I even did the Apple glitch, depending on what server I was on.
Yes.
Playing DayZ. I used to do the you run at the walls which had the gap underneath them, and you would lay down and you would fall through the wall.
You would just clip.
Yeah.
Yep.
You would clip through it. Old PlayStation 1, the cheap memory cards. Yeah, stuff like that. Nowadays, though, with online gaming, cheating is different. Now, when you're young, you don't consider the implication or the long-term implications of what you do. But the last thing you want to be doing, Geckofish, is carrying on like a pork chop when you're caught by these admins, isn't it?
What do you mean by that?
Oh, when you see Anarchy's videos highlight it. The way they lie, the way that they then, they'll turn around and they'll start saying racist or homophobic shit and, tell them that they suck and that they're losers and all the rest of it. When you get caught, take it on the chin, eh?
Well, fuck those guys. They don't represent the community, first of all, so they shouldn't really be in it.
Too fucking right.
But the ones who get caught cheating and then deny it or keep doing it, it is better just to put your hands up. If you want to be part of that community, then... you got to do the right thing by it and by the people that play in it.
Yeah.
It's just common sense, really.
But
not many people
it's
have
amazing, though, mate, how many of these people who use the cheats are the ones who will also then resort to the racist and homophobic and sexist remarks and stuff like that.
They're not really relevant, those guys.
No, there's no need for it.
Boydie, you've just sent us down a fucking nostalgia trip with like the old school cheats. Like, oh Jesus Christ, you got your fucking Game Genie, your Codemasters, your action replay discs for like PS2 and shit like that. You had, oh mate,
fun.
I still remember back in the PS2, you'd have to fucking constantly mess with the action replay disc just to get it working, just so you can load the fucking cheats. And if you connected it to the internet, it got updated all the time. It was like, oh. God, I need to fuck.
You connected a PS2 to the internet?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the two models. You got the fat one, which you had to buy the network adapter, or the PS2 Slim, which came with an Ethernet port.
Oh.
Okay, does someone want to address Degree Geek's comment in chat there? Not to sound like a total noob, I've been in the Armour community for 20 years. That aside, is the ESP that cheaters use the same thing as the ESP mod admins use? I gather from what I've heard or read, it's not.
It is.
It's close,
or at least very similar.
Yeah.
It's I mean, I know there's. I know VPP. Yes, is ESP tools is like a skeleton, and CF is like box. Yeah, it's just a box for the CF tools one. But I mean, it just really depends on the cheats you use, I suppose.
If you put it like this, imagine that a cheat is a mod. So anything that a mod can do, a cheat can do. The cheat injects into the game and exposes or allows the cheat to inject code into the game as a mod would. So anything that a mod can do. So if there's ESP and VPP, I'd imagine some cheat developers might even take the code from VPP admin tools and use that as a cheat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, we've talked about terrible stuff for long enough. Let's talk about something good.
Yes.
Zero DayZ servers. I love little things like this. Sumrak with his Demolsk reveal Gecko really generated a lot of hype, and it's great seeing a lot of other servers doing the same sort of stuff now. These little sort of high quality productions. Yes, it's only a GIF and all the rest of it, but Zero DayZ servers, they need a lot more love. Do you play on them yourself, Gecko?
I have played on a few. Yeah, recently I was on the Takistan Zero server,
They're
which is really
well-run
cool.
servers that deserve a lot more love, aren't they?
The performance is great as well on them, I've found. But you're right, the production now in advertising servers, I think that's what people have to do because there's servers popping up everywhere. And to keep people drawn in, you've got to have that edge.
Yes.
And it's a good thing. It makes it interesting and people get excited about it. So it is good.
I just loved all the comments. Excuse me, can I have a version that's not blurry, please? Thanks. 360p. It was great seeing people have a bit of a laugh with it as well. But it looks amazing. I was trying to work it out. I think there's a crossbow at the end.
There is, yeah. I saw that too.
It looks like there's a little pistol grenade launcher, the crossbow, some kind of like 2 M4 DMR type weapons. Just judging.
What
by
is
the
that
magazine.
though? The bit on the floor it looks like a shot from the Perseverance rover on Mars. Looking at the floor.
It does, doesn't it?
What is that? What
There's
is
a couple
that?
of trucks in there. Let's see if I can make it bigger.
There is definitely explosion craters.
That looked like a flintlock musket.
Yeah.
No, it looks more like a small little grenade launcher kind of thing.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
I'm with
Yeah, I've got
Let me see if I can catch it again.
I've got it. I got it. Send a screenshot.
Lad, there's quick screenshot skills.
It's a massive barrel on there, isn't it?
Is it a sawn-off wombat gun? Maybe.
Here, boy.
Is it a blunderbuss?
No, it is literally just a small little grenade launcher.
Oh, okay.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, it's like Montana UK said. It looks like a China leg. Not exactly it, but maybe like a sawn off one.
Yeah, where I said it before, a sawn-off thumper, M79 wombat gun or something.
Nice.
Interesting.
Happy Bombs said you need to watch the video after that for it to make sense.
Oh, Happy Bombs in chat. How you doing, buddy? Watch the video after that for it to make sense. Okay. Did I miss that? Did I? Let me go back to...
Yeah, there's a video link. 1 minute 51 seconds long. I'll send the link to you as well if you haven't got it.
I think I've got it.
Oh, yeah,
God.
you've got it.
Nice.
I'm boomering it.
It's fine.
Can't keep using that as an excuse.
Oh, look at the production level. It's Happy Bombs, though. What do you expect?
It's a nice touch. That is nice. I love the production value he's got.
Good background noise.
Very nice one, Happy Bombs. Fucking keep it up, mate. Keep it up. Gonna have to pop in and have a look, see what you guys have got.
Oh, here we go.
Very nice.
And once again, fucking comes a Stimpy thumbnail. Oh my god. I love and hate that man at the same time.
I love him. I think.
Oh, Stimpy.
Oh, Jesus.
But I'm absolutely loving the production level that some of the servers are putting into their stuff now. Like you said, it's those little things, Gecko, that help a server. Plus, it gives you a sense of confidence that they're committed, doesn't it, Geckofish?
It's not just that, but the events that servers do as well.
Yes.
Whether they have weekly events or random events, that keeps it interesting as well. So the production quality will keep people interested, and then when they actually play the events, it keeps things, breaks that cycle that you might be in already with an event.
So Happy saying this is going to be an event in the game, that people have to work out where it is, bring a shovel and avoid mines. That's awesome. That's awesome. It will all be cleared by Monday. Nice. So that's actually the DayZ needs more events. Yeah, at the moment, what have we got? Choppers, 3 fucking, or it's 5 choppers now across the map. Whereas, I remember when I was playing on Fubar Bundy's server, he had another type of chopper crash. Then there was also the sort of like IKEA trucks that would be crashed and dropped furniture storage and stuff like that. Those events, one of the mods I love the most is the survivor missions. Because it's something else that you can do as opposed to just run around, try and find people or look for chopper crashes.
Yeah, and you're rewarded for those missions, the survivor ones.
Yeah.
By what you get at the end of it. There's an incentive to do it.
And it's a big risk versus reward, isn't it, mate? You know that you're not the only person hearing that transmission.
That's right, yeah. And that adds to it as well.
Worrisome.
I just want to know, can they do it? Could they maybe do a Kickstarter or something like that, and maybe raise a couple of $1,000s and pay for some voice actors and actually have voice transmissions coming over the radio. The pop-up text is nice, but God, it would be so much more immersive, Gecko, if it was actually a voice actor saying that you heard the message come over the radio. Is that even possible, modders?
Dump, I'll let you take this.
Stalky Z has it. I was on there the other day, and there was a radio message that was read out. Yeah,
it's very
I don't
possible.
know what that was for. But in terms of paying voice actors, there's a lot of people in the community who have a golden voice.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they'd be happy to. I know a lot of people that have a great voice.
I'm available for hire. You heard my beautiful rendition of singing Happy Birthday for Gecko before.
I'm still sweating and I'm still hot from that.
On my server. No, it'd be simple as when the message that pops up that you're supposed to read is triggered for the client. All you would do is just make it play on the client if they have the radio on a soundbite. That's all I would be doing.
Yep.
So that'd be simple to do.
Yeah.
It's hard to match this level of quality from the Zero servers.
Yeah.
Especially Happy Bombs.
Spud said in chat, Jad, that localization would be a bitch. What does that mean, Jad? Localization would be a bitch.
If people don't speak English and there's a message over the radio in English.
Oh, I thought he was meaning like the audio being localized.
Sounds in different languages. No, I think that's what he means.
Because I remember when
that's what it means. It's languages.
I remember when I first jumped into DayZ Underground for a while, and there was they had the tape players where you could play the messages from that were recorded, and I remember there was a bug with the audio there that once I pressed play, as I was listening to it and started running forward, the sound file was stuck back behind me. So the further I went away from it, I ended up not being able to hear it anymore. And as I went back to it, it was like the tape player was stuck in the location. I thought that's maybe what he was meaning.
No, it's localization is just about languages. It's mostly used for like both voice and text, but localization and mods is usually only good for text-based kind of stuff. Very difficult to do with audio, at least.
You would have to write a custom script that would detect what language they've set in their settings, and then it could technically play another soundbite that's in that language. But then you'd have to find somebody that speaks that language to speak it. It'd be a little bit of a headache, but it is possible.
On Stalker Z, I was on there a few days ago on the organic RP one, and the storm triggered. There was a massive storm, and it triggered that audio, and it was like a radio message, so you could hear it.
Yep,
like a staticky radio.
That would be awesome if they could do that.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
And like you said, there'd be people lining up to contribute voices for it, so maybe wouldn't even need to raise some money. But yeah. What else have we got? We're getting near the end. This was an awesome little clip. We were talking about base defenses. Daemonforge.
What's he done now? Oh, yes, the DayZ raid alarm bell. Yes. Dump was talking to us about this yesterday.
How cool would this be, Gecko? You raid a base and an alarm goes off. You'd shit yourself.
Not only that, it connects to Discord.
Mm-hmm. There we go. I thought it was
that
brilliant.
Certainly makes it more urgent, doesn't it? The raids get in quick, they know, kind of thing.
What's the rest?
Yes.
They said it's using the universal API to provide an alert via Discord as well as in-game. This is still a work in progress. This is just a proof of concept for now. Plans to make it placeable on the wall as well as to improve the textures. I know I asked a question. He didn't reply. So what does it work on? Damage or proximity of another player? Very cool regardless. Do any of you modding guys know how it works?
Dump, you want to take it from here?
Yeah, I'm helping Daemonforge with this mod. So right now it's working off of a part destroyed on a wall, but we're making other ways to have server owners be able to configure how they wish for it to be registered. So do you want it to only register when a part is destroyed or when a wall is fully destroyed or so on and so on? Like even if the wall takes damage, do we want people to be able to have the thing sent to them? And then we're also doing some more complex things with it, like you'll be able to take those bells, and those bells will have on the advanced settings, you'll be able to put those bells on walls, and the bells will have a certain range, like 2 walls in every direction. So if you have a gap in your bell placement, if somebody busts a wall down, it may not trigger the alarm. And it will be all tied to this like central core. And if they somehow are able to make it explode or kill it, they could essentially cripple your entire raid alarm system. Because we want to make offline raid alarms possible, but we don't want to make it impossible to not get an alarm triggered.
I like what the Greek Geek just said in chat. People are going to start installing the game on gaming laptops and taking them to work. That'll ask the game to be ported to Android. They get these, your base is being raided notifications. Fuck, I'm out. Boss, I just found out my wife's been in a car crash. I need to leave. That's the 4th fucking time this month. Tell her to hand her license in. Oh my God.
But this is also just...
I was going to make the point that it goes back to, in my opinion, this mod would encourage the idea of playing to win, whereby you're trying to gain an advantage out of the game to get an advantage in game.
Well, no, it's simply allowing you to know when a base is being raided. You still have to log in and fight for your base. You don't know where they're raiding you. It's not telling you the northwest corner or whatever, which I'm pretty sure somebody will make a mod for that. But the basic mod is you're being raided. Over and done. That's all you need to know. And you have multiple bases, you might not even know what base is being raided.
Right, but if you're at work and you suddenly get a notification on your phone that you're being raided, it just seems a bit strange.
I see your point, Jad.
Make a choice.
I see your point, Jad, but at the same time, I don't mind this because I've always thought, if you log off in your base, and that would be something that would be interesting to tie it into, that you need to log off in proximity of the tripwires, that technically you've gone to sleep inside your base. So you're going to wake up if someone's raiding you. And offline raiding is one of the biggest controversial issues for these servers that have base raiding.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, people get upset about it. It's nasty.
I'm not defending offline raids, but it's part of offline raiding is part of the game.
So we're making a thing that's part of the game that kind of prevents that a bit more. Gives people more of a chance to defend their bases.
I like it because it kind of levels the playing field a bit. That said, you've still got to read the alert. You've still got to have notifications turned on. If it's 4 a.m. in the morning and you logged off at 2 a.m., you're most likely going to sleep through a Discord notification on your phone. So you get to wake up and just get a notification and go, fuck, and log in. And yeah, sure enough, unless you're in a faction that's big enough and got people. Now, actually on that, is it going to be a notification direct to you via a DM, or is it going to be able to be set up as a notification to, say, an announcements channel in a faction Discord so that everyone can see the notification?
Yeah, it could be both or either one. Because it technically links straight to your Steam account, which is how it sends the Discord bot to tell you your base is being raided. It can be possible. But the overall idea of this is to balance out the base raiding mechanics and make offline raiding not as problematic, because we all know this. People wait for you to log off in your base, they watch the player list, and then they raid you, right? Which is the biggest gripe with offline raiding. You don't know you're being raided until you log on the next day. Everything's gone. And there are people who metagame it so bad and then just destroy everyone. This is not necessarily aimed at that, but this definitely helps with those kind of situations. I mean, the server can also make it so you can't even connect your Discord account in game, but you can hear this going off in game. So like people in the local area might hear it, or maybe you're looting Tizzy and you built near Tizzy and your alarms go off. So it's really up to the server owners, but I do like the proof of concept at least. It's kind of like our whole map length, thing that we did too,
Scum has a similar system where you can put in a silent notification, a silent alarm, that when you log in, you get a message saying an alarm was tripped. You don't actually at this stage get a notification to you. I believe they're looking at that, via Discord or an app or something like that. But yeah, I like it. It's something to, there's, yeah.
Rust has something similar, don't they? They have the Rust Buddy thing. It's an app on your phone, and you can set up things, but it's completely optional. So if you want to get offline raided, you can just let it happen if you want.
I don't think there's really anyone who wants to get offline raided, though.
Yeah, exactly. But if you don't want to get notifications on your phone, then you're at work or something.
Yeah, you can just ignore them. Being an adult, you get to make a choice, right? Do I want to?
Yeah.
Walk away from work that pays my bills
more sense
to play a video game.
Now
I clearly leave work.
Yeah.
We had an update to Banov.
Right, okay.
good looking map.
Yeah. Very cool.
Soundtrack to go with it too, didn't he, Gecko?
Sorry?
He picked a good soundtrack to go with it as well, to emphasise it.
Yeah. It was so loud. I had it up too loud.
It's a big city.
But this goes back to what we said about what Happy Bombs has done. You need to do some good marketing now, and something we talked about. Some modders need to look at as well for their stuff to generate a bit of hype around your stuff, because there's so much out there at the moment, so many maps, Gecko, that without doing nice little trailers like this, your map could go unnoticed.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's so many servers competing for players, and there's more players now than there's been in a very long time. And you want to attract them. New servers are struggling because they don't have this kind of PR. They're trying to get players in, and they're relying just on word of mouth. But when you have good videos showcasing what's actually in there, I played Banov. I think it was back in February, and I don't think did it have a release video then? Maybe or maybe not. But that was quite a cool map. I didn't get to explore it fully, but it was a nice map.
Yeah. No, very, very nice work. Very, very nice work there. So thank you for sending that one through to us, Cabello.
So I want to talk about it a little bit, because I was quite critical of it in the last time it was showcased here.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking top work, Cabello. Absolute top work. There's obviously the common complaints that it's too green, but I think you've really diversified the map quite well enough with the different little towns and villages. I like what you got going there with the airfield, the little mountainous area. That's really, really nice. I did wish that you would showcase a little bit more about the underground, but I'm just a sucker for underground, but that's just me. I really cannot wait to actually play the map now properly. So absolute fucking top notch, mate. Keep it up.
And let's see more of this sort of stuff, Jad. Hey, these nice little promos and well-produced things to showcase what you've got going on. Content creators out there, I'm certain if you're a modder and you struggle with that, if you reached out to some of the bigger guys like Gecko and Sil and JLK and that, I'm certain they'd be happy to give you some tips and maybe even help you produce something to showcase your whatever you're making in a better light, to get it more attention. Hey.
Yeah, I think we've seen the production quality of everything DayZ go up a hell of a lot recently. And I was saying earlier about the Zero servers, Happy Bombs has done a really great job for the advertising for that. And as we've seen with the Banov trailer, it really is just stepping it up a level for players to get excited about new things. And the map does look amazing.
It does.
It does. It looks really nice. It actually looks really,
I noticed
really
at the
nice
end
now.
as well that he listed a credit of Sumrak as a map helper.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Sumrak's really got a heart of gold. Lovely guy.
He's a good man.
He actually is.
He's a great man.
And speaking about production quality, I've been watching some of the old episodes of the podcast, and oh my fucking God. I know I still manage to fuck something up every episode, but holy shit, they were shit, the first episodes. We've come a long way as well, and you've got to continuously adapt and improve shit. Otherwise, you'll fall out of relevance in that. As what's his face? Oh God, it kills me that I even know who he is. That bloody YouTuber slash semi-influencer Asian guy who does the really crappy songs says, you're irrelevant if you don't continuously adapt. God, I'm actually kind of glad that I can't remember his name. Thank God. Thank God. Someone will write it in chat now, and then I'll remember, and I'll go, oh yeah, I'm dumber again. Okay, we are on to spotlights now, folks, and I actually want to shout out, this is someone who reached out to me about the showcase that we were doing, but Michael Henrique, he does videos for the Brazilian audience, and he reached out to me about being able to use excerpts from the podcast, and I said, of course, mate, of course. You're going to be translating it into a different language. Go for gold. Rice gum. That's the fucking name. Oh God. Now I feel dumber for remembering his name again. So anyone out there who watches the show, he also does a lot of news stuff as well around DayZ, and not just DayZ, but you can see some other games there the day before he's talked about and stuff like that. So go check him out, folks. Control C. There we go. I'll share his channel in chat, and it will also be in the comments of the video as well. So go check him out, and it's always happy to share as much as I can with the rest of the community. Just a quick shout out as well, Redshift. Thank you so much for the donation as well, mate. I really appreciate it. Everything goes straight back into the show here, folks. So we've got our big Christmas special coming up as well. I'm looking forward to doing that one. We might have to get you back again for that, Gecko, for the Christmas special.
I'd be more than happy to.
It's been great having you on, mate. As for a mod highlight for this week, we talked about a couple of mods in it, so we don't really need to showcase anything else that's coming up. And Jad, you've got your lovely work that you've got your gunplay mod, mate. So have you been getting any feedback from Smoke himself on your gunplay mod?
He tried it. So they have it installed on one of their test servers, and he tried it, I think, and gave some feedback on it. But I wasn't
good
there
feedback, mate, because he's a fucking PvP god.
Yeah, exactly. And all of the admins at Day One know exactly what they're doing. So that feedback has been really valuable for me. I really appreciate it from them.
Yep.
Can't put a price on good feedback.
You cannot. Now we've got the DayZ Twitter watch, and this week is not actually a Twitter watch, but it's a TikTok. Hear the way I said that like such a fucking boomer, didn't I? Oh God, it's still not working. For some reason, it won't work for me. Can any of you guys, I'll see if I can, I don't know whether it's a region thing.
Yes.
Can you see if you can get it going and share your screen? I'll turn mine off.
You got it, lad?
I got it.
All right.
And we're good. Can you wind it back again? We can't miss Ariana's bit at the beginning.
It's not just DayZ. This is luxurious M&S DayZ. Oh yes.
M&S DayZ. I love it.
Was that a zombie? Got him.
I'm gonna take it.
Wait.
Someone
think
shows
we'd
any
be good together?
towards me.
I love this scene. Love this one.
Oh, this is funny.
No way.
All right, that's badass.
Oh, people keep on
Oh, what a shot!
Yeah.
Oh, we traded. It's not just DayZ.
Nice.
It's such a good clip as well. The music was perfect for it, and it's great to see them shouting out some of the girl gamers of DayZ community. There's so many of them out there. Like even here in Australia, we've just brought 2 more into the Aussie stream team, the Aussie Survivalists. Evie and Shazza, and it's fucking awesome, absolutely fucking awesome. It's great to see them doing little things like that, Gecko, shouting out different groups within the community.
Yeah, and in the beginning there wasn't very many females playing DayZ, but now there's more than there's ever been. That's good.
No,
everyone's seeing the game and loving it.
You think back to the beginning, there was Kiwo. She was really the only main one I could think of off the top of my head. What's her face? Jam Jar's ex-girlfriend had the little moustachey logo. She was another one. And then, you had a few more come in, Joito and Lottie and Molly Magoo and so on. But there's so many of them now. And, some of them are just fucking great creators. And not because they're females or anything like that. I love the fact that we don't seem to have any of those sorts of the bad hot tub sort of streamers. They're all just great players of DayZ who just happen to be female. And Kadiak is probably one of my favorites. Kadiak is fucking awesome. I love watching Kadiak and Sarah Moore play together. I know Sarah Moore is not everyone's cup of tea, but I love watching those two play together. Have you done any collabs with females, Gecko?
I play with Fish all the time.
Yeah, people in
chat for a long time.
She's lovely.
Yeah, she's great. She's a really nice person.
Yep.
But this game is for everyone. For everyone. And no one should feel that they can't play it. It's for everyone. And it's a good thing seeing more females playing the game.
And seeing DayZ shout them out as well, giving them a good shout out and letting people know, particularly for the females out there. Because, I look at my own metrics on my channel, and overwhelmingly 90+% of my audience is male. But that's still, the percentage of women out there. And we've got women in chat, Miss Shuey and so on, who watched it. And there's females out there they can go and watch. Just to, get that same sort of thing. Speaking of which, we've actually got a female guest coming on in the future. I'm not going to say who. I'll announce it when we're up to that episode. But I've been wanting to get a female on the podcast for quite some time, but they keep turning me down. I think I'm just so fucking ugly that they can't bear to look at my face for the entire thing.
So you're a handsome boy, dude. You're a handsome man.
Oh wait, I mean, if you're handsome enough to get pinned on the wall, I mean.
Birthday song.
Yeah, I'll sing on the birthday song.
No.
How could anyone turn down this charming man?
I actually remember
when he sings for you.
I accidentally bumped into Fish one time playing on the Malsk on a different on a different server fucking ages back. It was her. I was with her and a couple of other people. I went off to one of the villages to get some pants. Came back and they all fucking disappeared. Turns out one of them got killed, and it was like, oh fuck it, hell. So found out it was Fish. Said hello in chat, and it's like, fucking nice. She's absolutely lovely.
She is. She really is.
Guys, thank you all so much. We're going to do the last part of the show now, which is individual spotlights. Jad, we'll start with you, mate. Anything at all that you want to shine the spotlight on in the DayZ community, buddy?
Oh, you put me on the spot.
Good.
Spotlight's spot, Jad.
Oh, no.
Only you, man.
Windstride. What
He's
a lovely
fucking
guy.
A legend.
And I love his mod and all his clothing. It's all very, very high quality, and he's a close friend of mine. So, yeah, shout out to Windstride. And he's very sexy as well.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect time. You may have seen this hat in the game, folks, without the badges. This is the hat that it was designed on. I did have Windstride. I paid him some money to help me make a mod and it was just going to be too costly and a pipe dream. So I had a bit of credit left with him, and he said, well, what do you want to do? And I said, could you make a hat? And he made my Aussie slouch hat that's now in his Windstrides clothing pack. And it's probably one of the fucking my favourite item in the game is finding my slouch hat on servers that have Windstrides clothing mod. And the attention to detail he put into it was absolutely fucking amazing. Absolutely amazing. He is, I won't say without compare, but he is the gold standard of items in the game, pretty much, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, he's very special.
Mhm.
He helped me a lot with all of my mods, actually, especially the gunplay mod.
Yep.
He was constantly
Nice.
I was sending him updates constantly, and he was comparing it and giving me feedback. And when I wasn't working on it, when I lacked motivation, he was there to go. He'd DM me every morning going, "Good morning, have you worked on the mod today?"
He's been a guest on the podcast before as well, folks, so feel free to go through and check out our YouTube channel, and you can look for the episode where we had Windstride on. He was a great guest, an absolutely fucking legendary guest. Dumpgrah, what's your
Made
spotlight?
the double eye patch as well.
Did he make the double eye patch?
Yeah, I was joking to him about that. So I wanted to, every time I talk to him, I'd say, "Oh, have you made that double eye patch yet?" And he actually made one.
What the fuck?
That's
No
awesome.
way.
That's
So make
awesome.
it mine.
What about you, Dumpgrah? What's your spotlight of the week?
Actually, I'd like to bring more attention to our map link mod. It's in open beta right now. Go out there and try it, folks. It literally allows you to travel.
What servers are
between
running it,
maps.
mate? What servers are running it? What's the...
We have the Hideout running it now. New Dawn's running it. Helkiana's server's running it.
DayZ Down Under?
I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that.
No,
I need
they are.
to-
They are. That's the
Oh, yeah.
server I play on.
All right. But yeah, like it allows you to go between maps. It's, in my opinion, a game changer for DayZ. And I just want people to give it more of a shot so we can improve upon it, fix it. It is full open source, so have at it. You know, there is no hidden tricks or things. But that's my spotlight.
Oh, no. DDU is running Zyson's own one. They're not running your one. I didn't know there was a second one.
Yeah, there's another one that somebody made that sells it.
Okay. And yours is free.
We didn't know about his until we actually talked to you on the podcast about it.
Well, there you go. Have you played in any of the Hive mods, Gecko?
The what mods?
The Hive mods?
No, not yet.
It's great, mate, because it adds that sense of like the way they've got it set up on DayZ Down Under is you've got to travel all the way to the point. Well, it's the way it is on most of the maps. You've got to travel to various locations to do the transfer. What's that, Dumpgrah?
I want to say apologize. Zyzen says he doesn't sell it. He just keeps it private. So I do apologize. Wasn't meant as a jab.
Okay.
I just assumed since nobody ever heard of it, it was a private sell mod. My apologies.
Yep. So yeah, and you can take your character from Chernobyl to Namolsk, or Chernobyl to Livonia, or Chernobyl to Takistan, or whatever maps that is set up for the being able to travel, and it's pretty cool. It is. Like, I got myself to the western evac point, or southwestern evac point, and I was able to take my character from Chernobyl to Livonia on the DayZ Down Under map. So yeah, it's awesome.
That's very cool.
Lad, what about you for a shout out, mate?
I want to do two, if that's all right.
Go for it.
So, I want to shout out Takistan Plus. I actually decided to bite the bullet and give it a go, and I've actually really enjoyed it. It's a really, really fun map to play on. It definitely brings something new to your gameplay and like how you approach things now. And the only criticism I have is that it doesn't have as much environmental factors in terms of like temperatures. So I hope that gets implemented. But really, really great map. Second one is Simon has, from the S Gunplay and S Visual mod, has come out with a new update and it's kind of like optimized how certain effects are done and triggered. And he's been talking to me a little bit in private about like trying to learn a few things to really like make the most out of those mods. So absolutely lovely person, fantastic. Check out his mods, play on servers with those mods. You'll absolutely not regret it. And yeah, really cool stuff.
Gecko, what do you want to shout out, mate? You can shout out yourself. You can shout out anything you want, mate. Anything at all.
Can I have two as well?
Yeah.
All right. Well, first of all, Fish. Definitely check out Fish. She's a really good player and one of the kindest people you can meet. So definitely check her out. And the second person is Reverend 816.
Reverend
another
is
gem
awesome.
in the community. Yeah, he's a genuinely nice guy, and he's actually a Reverend IRL. So he's. I try not to swear when I'm around him.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Check them too. Yeah, he is. Yeah, and he's a great streamer too.
He's absolutely lovely. One of the nicest people you could meet.
Yeah. I speak very highly of him too. There's no careless whispers with him. It's he's very genuine.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Gecko, Jad, thank you guys so much for coming on. It was a pleasure to have. Gecko, you are a laugh a second, mate. If you want to have fun watching a stream that's not too serious and just relax and be able to enjoy some shenanigans, I can't recommend you enough, mate. You're one of the truly fun, nice guys of the DayZ community, mate. You don't seem to ever get embroiled in controversy like I do. You just have fun, mate, and this is why we game, isn't it? We game to forget reality and just relax and chill, and you don't want to be going in and getting embroiled in crap. You want to have some laughs and be around other good people. And it seems I've been honoured to have your community in here for this stream, mate, and I can just say they are fucking an amazing audience, mate. They're such a good bunch of folks.
There's an Lamborghini of the industry, and thank you. We all appreciate the work you guys do on the podcast.
Cheers,
it's
mate.
not an easy. I know what kind of stuff goes on behind the scenes, and it's not an easy thing to do. So you put yourselves out there, and we all appreciate it.
But we love it, mate. We love doing the show. We love having guests on like yourself, and yeah,
it's especially lately. And no, mate, honestly, thank you. I mean, without with Boydie doing being the main head honcho, this is not possible without the viewers and yourself. So thank you so much for coming on to the show. Really, really do appreciate it. It's always nice
no worries
to talk to different people of the community.
Same goes for you too, Jad.
Definitely.
Yeah, no worries. Jad, thank you for having me.
Jad, do you stream?
I don't stream, no.
Oh, that's a shame.
So
I'm not interesting enough to stream.
Yeah, bullshit, mate. Look at Dumpgrah. How many people did you have watching you just the other day when you were streaming, mate? And you were ecstatic about it?
10.
Yep. Yeah, that's good.
And he streams a mix of gameplay. He streamed some of his modding before. You guys in the modding community need to do. I have said so many times that it's wrong that modders don't get the financial recognition that they should for what they do. But I've come around on one point. You guys need to sell yourself better. And one of the ways you can do that is look at Inclement Dab when he streams. He can have up to 100 people watching him. Yes, it's Inclement Dab. He's a fucking idiot savant when it comes to bloody what he's able to do. The guy is just a freak of nature with his modding. But more of you need to do it, whether it be these high quality production videos showcasing what you do or just getting out there and streaming. Consider doing it. If you're sitting there doing stuff at your computer, why not just fire up a stream? It's starting to work for you, isn't it, Dumpgrah?
Yeah. I think people are enjoying the mixture of watching me do modeling, texturing, scripting, and stuff, as well as my occasional playing a video game and being a goofball in it.
Yeah,
like,
we are.
trying to hit a freaking puppet with a freaking wooden spear and like throwing it way over the moon.
But I also, in addition, I want to thank yourself, Dom, for coming in as the guest host. It's been absolutely lovely talking to you again. It's a shame about with Marks, but absolutely wonderful having you on. It's been really, really nice talking to you.
Marks, though, right?
Hey,
all the best towards Marks, though, right?
Yep, all the best.
Definitely, yeah, absolutely, definitely.
Have you ever lost love for the game, Gecko?
Yeah, for milliseconds when I fall off buildings and it's not my fault, get thrown and break my leg. But I quickly fall back in love with it.
Oh, yeah. So you've got the luxury probably of a really high internet speed. Here in Australia, we don't uninstall as often as you guys with 200, 300, 400 megabit downloads because it takes us half a day to fucking re-download a game.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Also, while I have you, Gecko, I want to ask you, is the double barrel shotgun you call All Susan?
Yeah, Old Susan. The best gun on the game with buckshot. I'm telling you right now. You've got to get up close, of course, but it's the only way to use it. One hole for shooting and the other for shooting too.
I'm going to talk to Kath.
One hole for shooting, one hole for rooting.
I'm going to talk to Kath to see what we can do something for you, all right?
Now, I'm going to throw the challenge out there as well. Can someone please reach out to Gecko with ideas for this fucking game emote, this fucking game shirts, this fucking game merch, this fucking game logo? He needs to have something. Do you have a merch store at all, mate?
Yeah, I think I do, yeah.
You think you do?
Well, if you don't get one.
Yeah, I'm open to suggestions with the t-shirt idea because, people can think of something that you may never think of yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm always open to listen to the community. They always have good ideas.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. It was a pleasure. Once again, an amazing episode of the DayZ Podcast. I'm privileged and honoured to have some of the best and brightest, not only on the panel with me, but as guests on this show each week. Speaking of which, next week's guest is the Churnerous Has Fallen team. So there's been a bit of a change in the management structure there, with Costa having to step away because it was just, as we've talked about earlier on, Jad, running a server is a monumental undertaking, even with people supporting you, isn't it, buddy?
Absolutely, yeah.
And as a family man, it's even worse. So he's taken a step back for his own mental health and life. So, yeah. Thank you all so much. You're welcome back anytime. Obviously, now you know how much better of a person I am than Gecko. So if he's streaming, ignore him. Come and watch me. Tell me it's your birthday, and I'll sing to you as well and flash my gap tooth. No, don't do that. I upload my videos, folks. Go and watch Gecko. Support the people out there. I'd love to have you in if you've got nothing else on. But, yeah, go and support them, and then you can always watch the VODs later in the week when I upload them. Gecko, thank you so much. You are a scholar and a gentleman, my friend.
It's been a pleasure, a real pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Jad, After Dark
Anytime.
2 when, mate?
Hi, Gecko. Nice to meet you.
You too, man.
Maybe later this year. Maybe. I'll consider it.
I don't know. I think what needs to happen in that respect, mate. I know I'm starting up another topic here, but just we need to get people who prefer these hardcore servers all working together, because it's such a niche audience that if there's too many of those type of servers, the true really hardcore ones, it diversifies the player base too much. We need to get together and make some sacrifices on what we want and just get it together. What is the deal with sluts? Why are you two both sluts? I'm seeing Gecko is a slut. I'm seeing Jad is a slut. Can someone explain this to me?
It's a term that old Bangkok Stallion used to use all the time.
Yeah.
And it's not meant as an offensive word. It's a term of endearment. in the way that they say. So it's good that they're saying that.
I will never ever take a word as an offence, and like we talked about earlier, mate. In Australia, it's a term of endearment to be called a cunt, but it's also the biggest insult to be called one as well. It's all in the delivery, so I don't mind. That's why I said the word. Miss Shuey is even saying "I am slut." The female is saying "I am slut." It's obviously it's a term of endearment in your community, mate. So yeah, it's all about the way it's used. So I'm not one of these who gets offended just because I see a word. It's all in the way the word is used. So spam chat with some sluts, folks, and let's raid someone, and we will get you all to spam that in their chat as well, and just see how they react. I'll try and find someone with a sense of humour. But yeah, thank you guys so much. All the best, and we will see you all once again next week, same time, same channels, for the DayZ Podcast, episode 73, brought to you by our Patreon supporters over at patreon.com/878 Survivor FM, and our new sponsor, Ping Perfect. Affiliate link in the description down below. Use code Survivor FM at checkout for 10% off your first month. I feel like a bit of a shill doing that, but yeah, you've got to do it these days. All the best, everyone, and I will see you next week. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Bye.
And ciao for now.